without 911 connections for hours. AT&T says it was a software issue that's been resolved. The mosquito-borne EEE virus responsible for the death of a 44-year-old man in New Hampshire this week. This is ABC News. 6 people now under arrest in kidnapping in Connecticut. It's a weird story. ABC's Marcus Solis says the victims were house hunting in Danbury when a van rear-ended their Lamborghini and the couple was taken.
Surveillance video shows the van racing down Clapboard Ridge Road Sunday, at one point going across the double yellow line, nearly hitting an oncoming Subaru driven by Carly Batista.
Literally, if I didn't swerve, he would have hit me like on the driver's side, like head on. And with how fast the car was going, I probably would have ended up in the ICU or something.
That van eventually crashed, the suspects taking off on foot. But inside the vehicle, Danbury police found a husband and wife in their 50s with duct tape around their hands and feet.
And with the opening ceremonies of the Paralympics in Paris set to start in a few hours, the Olympic Organizing Committee in France now says 2 million tickets have been sold for the Games, including 1 million sold in just the last month. More than 4,000 athletes from around the world will be taking part. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
During life's most trying times, it helps to have someone with experience and understanding at your side. Ryan Funeral Home and Crematory has attentive staff in De Pere, available 24 hours a day, and nearly 100 years of business experience, which can provide comfort during those difficult times. Call them at 920-336-3171 or visit them at ryanfh.com. Ryan Funeral Home and Crematory, local people serving local families since 1920.
It's 2024 and Worthington, Minnesota continues to shine. We've expanded so many things. It's a time of growth. We've expanded recreation activities with our indoor ice arena, our indoor turf rec center and playground, and our outdoor water park, Waterworld, is ready for another season. Our schools have expanded, and so has our industry. We're continuing to expand our population also, with lots ready to build on Glenwood Heights. So let's grow together in Worthington, Minnesota. It's worth a look.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news roundup in quick podcast form. You can find it anywhere at the WGBW website, wgbw.fm.
For Civic Media News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. The Wisconsin Supreme Court will not take up a case from a group trying to recall Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, at least not yet. The group was trying to bypass the appellate court and go straight to the state's highest judiciary. Vos is one of the state's most powerful Republicans. He's been targeted by both Democrats and supporters of Donald Trump. And we're only about a week away from the first day of school for many Wisconsin kids. That means you'll see tons more buses on the road. Melissa Kay has a refresher on some basic bus safety.
You can do your part to help keep our kids safe. When the yellow lights are flashing on a school bus, slow down and prepare to stop. When red lights are flashing, vehicles need to stop from both directions until students are out of the roadway and the lights go off.
For most public school districts across Wisconsin, the first day of class is after Labor Day. Many of them begin Tuesday. And that's what you need to know. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson, and this is Civic Media News.
The Brewers lose in a battle of home runs. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kusko with sports. Milwaukee hit 2 home runs, but the San Francisco Giants hit 3 of their own to win 5-4 on Tuesday night, including the go-ahead shot by Mike Yastrzemski. Manager Pat Murphy says it was a hot night at AmFam Field.
I think guys were a little warm and sweating profusely, but I think both teams did a nice job. I thought it was a fairly well-played game, and I thought I love the way we competed.
Milwaukee was leading the NL Central by 12 games a week ago, but after losing 4 of the last 6, the Brewers' lead is down to 9 in front of the Chicago Cubs. The second of 3 games in the series against the Giants is tonight in Milwaukee. The Packers trimmed their roster down to 53 players on Tuesday. Green Bay placed running back A.J. Dillon on injured reserve in one of the moves. The Packers also kept kicker Greg Joseph over Anders Carlson, a 6th-round draft pick last year. For Civic Media Sports, I'm Jimmy Kuska.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
Mostly cloudy this morning with a little more sunshine by later this afternoon. Our high today 74. The wind out of the northeast at 5 to 15. Tonight 61. Tomorrow partly cloudy 79 with rain and thunderstorms tomorrow night. Could be some heavy rain too with a half inch or more possible. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently it is 66.
Maggie Dawn.
Did you know that dark money groups are spending millions to hire paid canvassers in Wisconsin on behalf of Donald Trump? I'll tell you all about it next.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekday afternoons from 2 till 4. This is the talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the city of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor. And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you.
Nice to be back in the studio, right? I mean, this is great.
Last night was the hottest night I've ever experienced in Green Bay.
Really?
It was, at about 6 o'clock, it was incredibly hot. I actually took some nice, want to see a nice picture?
No.
All right, hang on. I'll get it for you in a second here. Yeah, it was so hot. It was unbelievable. Here, let me just show you this. I should have walked to the bridge, but I was too lazy. Look at this picture.
Oh, yeah, the sky.
Is that beautiful?
Yeah, it's beautiful. The orange sky. I think you're to show me a picture of yourself walking. Oh. Okay, no, the sky, that's
you
great.
You want one of those?
No, not at all. Oh. That's a great... It was beautiful? So orange last night. Yes.
Yeah. Can you see that, Todd?
Isn't that something?
That's awesome, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night last night.
So anyway.
Fun day. Yes.
Todd, thank you. All your people from Civic Media, all the people from our hospitality company.
Simple Life.
Simple Life. Yeah. What a fun day we had yesterday at their house.
Yeah, it was the Packer House on True Lane, and that was really focused on the NFL draft. It's amazing how much is going on, right? And even in the paper today, there's even more opportunities for people. So, Simple Life, and we'll talk about your friend as well.
Yeah, I was just going to get onto that. Yeah, no, go ahead.
But I just want to say that it was almost like a resourceful show yesterday. There's just, people listen, and I can do this, I can do that. So it was great to have Aaron Popke on. I mean, he's kind of the focus from the Green Bay Packers. But, even this, what is this? This Zarvan, private driving services. I mean, they're going to pick up some business. Just a lot of things that are going on. And, of course, we focused on the rental.
I'm not even kidding now. I'm going to look into being like a Uber driver.
Well, that's
a transport guy.
Doing.
I know. That's going to be such a major aspect.
Yeah.
Remember when I asked that question about and they said, no, it's got to be almost all, transportation, public transportation, or whatever you want to, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to look into driving.
Yeah.
What?
You're not a great driver, but yeah, that'd be fun. You're going to be careful.
I'm not a great driver.
You're not.
How do you know that? You've never driven with me.
Something tells me I did one time.
I don't think you did. By the way, I'm so excited. I got my car to salvage.
Yeah, where's your car? And then where's Todd's car? Where's my car?
What do you mean by that?
Well,
don't even give me that. You lose your car. Every time I've gone with
Johnny,
you
I'm not talking about your car.
Your
car was banged up, and it's because of accidents. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that wasn't my fault.
Okay. The pole just jumped out at you. Okay, anyway, tell me.
I didn't know my car had a blind spot.
Back to my point.
Okay.
The only
That's from Back to the Future with Biff.
Yeah.
Biff, you kind of banged up my car. I didn't know it had a blind spot. You should have told me it had a blind spot. I didn't know. You can't blame me. No, I'm excited about this. But I want to tell you guys about
I want to caution you a little bit on being an Uber driver or a Lyft driver, because I think if I drive, I'm just going to be an independent, because then you can put a tip jar there. And I don't think Uber and Lyft let you do that, right?
Can't have a tip jar, but you can tip. You can't, but you can tip on the app.
Right. But then,
Oh. Okay.
Maybe that, yeah. Because you're going to make it on tips.
Can I just say I accept cash?
No, they don't let you do that.
I'll put a little sign. I'm okay. I'm not a firm believer in doing exactly the way the rules are.
No,
you know what I mean?
I got an idea for you. Miно's Cash Cab.
I love it.
And everything's cash.
I love it.
Boom.
I love it.
That's cool.
I love it. It's kind of here's the way I look at life. Okay, when you buy some actually I bought some sinus stuff finally to try to break this thing, okay? And it says take, 2 capsules every 8 hours. That's for like your 78-year-old grandma.
Actually, yeah.
Okay? I double.
You gotta
without
soup
question.
that stuff up.
I take 3 every 4 hours instead of 2 every 8. I take 3 every 4.
Me too.
You know what
but
I mean?
eventually,
That's like for the general public.
it is. It's and as cautious as you can be.
Yes, exactly.
Because they don't want to get in trouble.
Don't get sued. Exactly.
Right.
That's the minimum.
So that I don't pay attention to that either.
No.
Eventually, though, what science has to do is, we've all got our own DNA. You just put in your DNA to tell you exactly what you need for your body.
Oh, I'd like that.
Yeah, we'll get to that someday.
Okay.
But right now, this stuff, adults over this. I mean, come on. There's 300 million of us.
That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah. So
someday you'll just be able to put your little chip in, or you put your finger on there and tell you exactly what John Maino needs for sinus, exactly what he needs for high blood pressure, exactly what he needs for overweight, exactly what he needs for gout, exactly, all that stuff you have.
Got a text here. Didn't Jim get tickets as mayor from the Green Bay Police Department?
For what? For like
speeding?
Speeding or something?
Yeah, who's that? Yeah.
It said Donna.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I'm going to drive for that. I might. If they have dedicated Uber lanes, I'm going to drive. I mean, dedicated, what am I looking for?
Mass transit?
Yeah, lanes. That if we can drive, if we got to, then I will do it. But I don't want to sit in traffic and have the guy yelling
I
at
agree.
me.
I agree. But I'd tell him stories. I'd sing. I'd do all kinds of things.
So me too. I'd go, man, me?
I'd be all over it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When I
was mayor.
I one time I took a trip out to Los Angeles. It was a really quick one. Never been out there before. Okay. But went out and you get out of the airport and you're waiting for a cab. And you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. And a guy comes up and goes, you waiting for a cab? I said, yeah. He goes, come with me. And so I didn't really think. I'm from Wisconsin, right? And it's me, my sister, and some other people. and Lisa Hale from our news department. And we just followed this guy.
Yeah.
Like we walk a long way to a parking ramp. Not knowing what's going on. And it turns out the guy was doing what Mino's thinking of doing, right?
Right.
But he could have killed us. He could have done anything. We had no idea. But nicest guy. And we said, hey, can you pick us up tomorrow to get back on the plane? He's like, well, I'll be there. So yeah.
I took a trip out to Baltimore to look at they redeveloped their downtown with
the water.
Just is unbelievable what they did. Cordish is the one who did that. So I went out to Baltimore.
Kind of a dangerous town, though.
Well, but
I
get
got
this.
some people that live in went to Naval Academy and you know what I mean? Not too far out. There's tough sections.
And statistically, demographics are tough in that city, but it's amazing what they've done. And then Cordish was a developer. We talked to them about building them all down. But anyway, this is my point. We flew out there. The guy picks us up in the airport, a cab driver, just cab. He talked about this is the stadium and the history, and did you know back here, and really gave us this tour.
That's cool.
But I said to him after, I said, which I gave him a good tip. I was like, how did you know all that? He goes, well, we have to take a test. We have to know,
Wow.
we have to know the city and to get our license. So, of course, what do? I come back here and say we should do that here because we get some complaints from cabs once in a while. So I said, let's do that and make that part of the license because the license comes from the city. Let's give them not a difficult test, but a little bit, not who's the mayor, but how old is the city and where the first settlement and all that. And of course, our council voted that down because they just wanted to. It was such a bad council back then, but and that would have been so progressive. And Baltimore, like you said, they did that because they don't have a very good reputation. We have a stellar reputation here, and anyway, I thought that was really cool that they did that.
That idea.
And Uber drivers, they do that on their own because of the tips.
Yeah. But okay, so anyway, first of all, we got a text here. It says, wanted to share, I ordered from Operation Coffee and it is fantastic.
Oh, good.
I loved his story, so I thought I'd give it a try, but now I'm a forever customer. Thanks for having him on the show, Mary. We had that young man on 2 weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, yeah.
Operation Coffee, based out of Kaukauna, starting up his thing.
Has he got a little baby now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine.
I think so. I think she was about to have a baby when she was on, right?
Right.
It was that day.
Yeah.
Right? She said I might have to leave early. It's like, okay.
Wonderful, wonderful veteran
That is good
helping other
coffee.
veterans. We want to do more with him.
Yeah.
Get him out. I want to promote him. Got another one here. Thanks for a great day yesterday. We appreciate your whole team. Michael from Simple Life Hospitality.
All right.
Michael, the pleasure was ours.
Yep.
That was
fun.
the most fun day we've had in doing this show.
Long time. That's great. And
all the different people that came through.
yeah, we get a.
Hope it worked out well for them.
Yeah, I think it will. I think people are very interested in that, and we talked about
one disappointing aspect. We know the owners. When they came by, we didn't know it was them. Our kids went to school with their kids and everything like that. And I said, hey, I could keep an eye on this for you.
You know, that lady thought you were a little, she thought you were a little serious, and she's like listening to you, and I'm like, he's feeding you a line. But yeah.
Then I said, well, your husband said you'd give me the code.
Right.
I got some buddies from the UK
like,
coming down.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, he did? Yeah, he did. And then I think you were like, yeah.
But what a beautiful house. The nicest. I mean, everybody in there was nicer than the next, but it was that was a cool event. And of course, we ended with the Alzheimer's walk, which we'll get to later.
People loved that car that came there.
Oh, that was cool.
Oh, was that a showstopper?
Yeah.
1950 Packard.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll let you drive that around for your cash cow.
That guy would make some. That guy could make some money.
Oh, I'm thinking now.
Now that's
Oh boy.
I don't know. I think that could be fun. And even if I would only drive, after the show at 9 till, I don't know, 1 or 2. I'm not gonna drive at night, but I think we could, you pick up an extra couple $100
absolutely.
a day.
I'll do it. Got a text here. They should have ambassadors on the city bus for the draft and games. That's kind of true.
That is a great idea. I'll tell you what. I
think that's a really good point.
Some commissioners on the Transit Commission, and I'll bring that up to them because I think
we could be one of those.
Well,
we both could.
Well, now what they can do now, because what they should do is they don't need ambassadors on the bus. They need the bus drivers to be ambassadors, and you can't drive the bus.
You've been on those trips to like Hawaii and those tours.
Yeah.
And somebody, you got the driver, but then you got the other guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Kalauka, let me hear it, everybody.
I find you guys very annoying.
We'll get you guys little walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Welcome to Green Bay.
And you can't hear because it's too loud and distorted.
Just so you know, when you say Allahu, you say it to us.
Everybody?
Okay, everybody now. Come on. It means hello and goodbye. Did you know that? It's both.
I hate those.
Welcome to the islands.
I don't know those two. But
okay, who wants to get a lay? Oh, come on now, Grandpa there. I'm not talking. You know what I mean here. We got Shakella here that's going to give you a lay.
Hey, we've all been on it.
We've all been on that bus.
I was on a tour one time. This is kind of funny. In Europe, and we were driving, and this lady, same thing. She was the lady talking, and the bus driver was the bus driver, although you can do one of the same. But she got done with the tour, and then she goes, if I would just thank you for being on this tour, and I would be very I would be very honored if you would show your appreciation. And some guy let's give her a round of applause. Everybody clapped, and then no, she went a dip. Everybody clapped and got off the bus. She didn't get a nickel.
That is a good story.
That might be the best story you've ever told.
That
on
was
the show.
funny. That was really funny. I mean,
that is a really good story.
Let's give her a round of applause. And the guy was serious too. He was a nice guy.
Oh yeah, but yeah, they are annoying.
We gotta do better than that.
All right, Maino the Mayor. We got a big show coming up for you. Stay with us.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Devil's Advocates radio show.
Most of us can agree everyone deserves the right to make their own medical decisions. Politicians should have no say at all. Thankfully, we have leaders like Vice President Kamala Harris who are standing up for our rights to make our own medical decisions and protect abortion rights. As Vice President, Kamala Harris helped lead the administration's efforts to protect abortion rights after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Vice President Harris has worked to defend access to emergency medical care and support the ability to travel for reproductive care. She's fought for access to high-quality, affordable contraception and strengthened reproductive health privacy. Vice President Harris has defended our rights and freedoms against right-wing extremists who want the government to make medical decisions for us. She's a champion for our rights.
Visit www.abwt.org/Kamala and tell Vice President Harris, keep fighting for our freedom to make our own medical decisions. Paid for by A Better Wisconsin Together, Inc.
The Talk of
Sometimes I'm right, and I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song.
Hey, welcome back. Maino the Mayor here on a good-looking Wednesday, 97.9 FM, WGBW, 98.3 FM, WSS, and, of course, the Civic Media app. 67 degrees in Green Bay, 68
cool off.
Appleton, 71 in
Love
Oshkosh.
it.
What is the high for the last 2 days? What did you see as like?
We hit 90, didn't we? 91? I think it was 90. It was 91 in my car, but that's not always.
Well, I saw 8 when I walked the other day. I walked like from noon till 1 o'clock, and it started at 87, and when I finished, it was 89. And that's the highest I saw.
Yeah.
Man, I did have a sweat going, though. Oh, my God. It was unbelievable.
Idea.
Phenomenal. I took my shirt off, and I just wringed it out on top of the bridge.
Oh, jeez.
People are honking. Hey, what's
Jump.
up?
Don't jump.
Girls
Don't
coming
jump.
by on their roller skates
Yeah.
saying, hey, we'll see you later.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
Okay, I got to. Okay, so this is a true story. When I was walking that day, walking over the bridge here on the Nitschke Bridge, two ladies, office workers out to take lunchtime, take a 20-minute walk or whatever.
Good.
Both attractive, whatever. And some guy coming the way honks in his piece of crap car, and I even looked at him and I went like this.
Give me a break.
Like, really?
I mean, come on.
You got a shot? Really? I put up my hands. I looked at him. I go, really? It's like that just impressed them so much that they're gonna say, "Hey, come on back." Are you kidding me? What kind of a guy honks at women like that? They're gonna score.
You never did, ever?
Never in my life.
Even as a young man, you never did that?
Well, you
Never.
You have to have the right car for one.
Yeah.
And that guy said,
You're a piece of crap.
right?
You have to have a Super B or something.
Something like that.
right?
That could work. That could work. Dodge.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
Hey,
gotta
if
tell
you're driving, but okay.
You know who I want to get on
back
the
to
show
your
is Tom Izzo. Okay, basketball coach at Green Bay, at Michigan State, because they're going to be playing up at Northern Michigan, which is kind of a cool thing. And I was at the game the last time they played 50 years ago. In 1974.
Wow.
So that's going to be kind of cool. He's going back to his old school to play. They're actually holding it in the football stadium is the game. So
that's cool.
Really cool. So but here's the thing. Somebody told me this. I'm going to ask him live on the air. He and Mariucci were roommates and everything, both from Iron Mountain. Their last high school basketball game was against Nagani. As a matter of fact, got beaten in the UP finals. But anyway.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. But anyway, what they had, somebody told me they had something hooked up in their car where it was almost like a loudspeaker that would come through the thing, and they would make comments. Hey, lady.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we got to find out.
Let's ask him that.
We're going to ask him that question.
He'll deny it now.
Yeah. Got another text there. John would be yelling at the people to be quiet and listen to his stories. That's not true.
The person who texted in earlier about the ambassadors on the bus, I want to say that we have some, the city has some bus drivers. Have you ever taken the bus to the game? We have those. The
trolley?
No,
no?
They're just shuttles. You can pick it up at Stadium View. You can pick it. They have different things.
There's one right outside our door.
You're right. That picks up here. There's one on the east side, west side, and they drop you off right at the game. They pick up it anyway.
Which I think is a great idea.
Those drivers are pretty entertaining.
Oh,
the city puts the best drivers, and they're funny. And we took it at Christmas because we didn't want to drive there. Had the kids and dressed up like Santa Claus. It was just really. I bet tourists thought, what a great city, So. Yeah,
that part
I think
would be
we
cool.
could really, and we're going to have packed buses for that. So that's a good idea to make sure they're at least trained or have some kind of, promote the city, but be funny too. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So anyway, back to my story. So I take my car in yesterday to the salvage yard.
Yeah.
Down in some little town I've never been in before off of 42 in Manitowoc County.
A lot of us,
BB's?
A lot of us trade our cars in, but you went to the salvage yard?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It would have cost between a $2,400 quote to get my front panel fixed. Okay. My window on the driver's side doesn't go down. That was going to cost over $300. I got some weird noise. I actually was concerned because I always check to see if you got a catalytic converter because that's where the money comes from. That it was gone because it made so much noise. Todd, I think I've talked to you while driving in my car, and I talked to my brother one day. He goes, "Are you in a helicopter?" It made so much noise. One tire constantly goes flat, even though it's a new tire, because there's something wrong with the wheel. So I had so many things that would have needed to be fixed. Okay. It was unbelievable. Right. But we're gonna do a contest, Todd.
All right.
When I cleaned it out, you have to clean it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And how many quarters did I find throughout my entire car? Because I'll tell you what I do sometimes. When you'd get change back from a drive-through, if you use whatever, I would throw it into the floor of my back seat. Okay? I don't know why.
No.
But that's what I would do. Okay?
Doesn't seem real accessible, but yeah, okay.
I don't know. But here's the funny part. So I keep getting these warnings for different things in my car. So when I was at the thing yesterday, and the lady says, well, drive it over there and to the thing. I'm driving, and 2 different warning things went on. Extreme tire deflation, must check now, warning. And another thing for my engine, it's like, I'm just going to park it.
Here are the keys.
And here's the funny thing. I never noticed this the whole time I had this car. When you shut the car off and you open the door, the little thing pops up that says goodbye. It's like,
no way.
Yes.
That's
it's like,
hilarious.
oh my goodness, is this apropos?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
and what was your response?
But I was thinking, oh my gosh, if I was a little bit younger, maybe I'm still young enough to do this. You know what they're looking for? Help wanted wise, that a job that I would love, like you can't believe.
At the junkyard?
Yeah. Crane operator.
Oh, yeah. No, that would be cool.
Tell me that wouldn't be a great job.
Yeah. Cops come out. I never heard the guy in there. You know, in the mafia.
I'm nothing. What are you talking about? Nothing in the trunk. I even checked the trunk. I didn't see nothing in there. Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about this. Maybe you're not the right person for that job.
I would love that job. I was just sitting there just mesmerized.
Yeah, that's cool.
Watching them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, I'd love to be a crane operator. Can you go to NWTC
I think
for
every
that?
kid wants to be a crane operator, right?
But you know what? Every adult is, if there's a crane doing stuff, every adult stands and watches.
You know, that's just it. You know, when we, downtown here, we just had a lot of people watching construction.
Absolutely.
Just watch, like people like our age that would just sit and watch.
Yes.
Like,
There's
that's kind
something
of
fascinating about
it.
it.
A cool day to just watch these guys, you know, put up a building or take a building down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would be cool. So where was this place? What is it?
B&B metal salvage. You take 42 down towards the town of Cleveland, past St. Nazianz.
Yeah.
It's some little town. You ever hear of a restaurant called the Smiling Moose?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's right by there.
Oh, that's
so.
I know where that is. That Smiling Moose, that big chair. You get a picture taken in. Yeah.
Okay.
Smiling
Is it
Moose.
Newton? B&B Metals Processing?
Yeah,
in Newton?
generally, yeah.
That'd be Newton.
I mean, it's
That'd
out
be
in the
that
country,
area.
but yeah, that would be.
I'm sure they're very concerned about leakage into the land and the water supply.
I'm sure they are. I don't know about that, but I would love to work at that place. I'm not even kidding about that.
I can see that. That'd be fun. And what you can't really do anything wrong because your job is just to destroy it.
Yeah,
you know
pretty
what I mean?
much.
It's not like
Separate
nobody's
it
going
or
to complain
whatever.
like, oh, you didn't do it right. It's
Yeah.
like, just drop it.
Yeah.
Did it have did it condense it or was it the grinder?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think they took some stuff out first. The catalytic converter, obviously, which are worth like a couple $100 bucks.
Something like
That's
that.
where they're all being stolen. You know, the plutonium or something?
I don't even know
what is it?
are.
I'm not sure.
Some precious metal type thing. But anyways, just a great feeling to get rid of it. But Todd, can we do a quick contest?
Yeah.
Prize package. What have we got for a good prize, Todd?
Give them the money.
We've got.
Yeah.
No, we need that for parking,
Yeah,
Jim.
that's our.
We
but,
do.
Hey, like I said, though, you know what's going to be really funny? Some of those are so sticky from like Mountain Dew spilling.
Yeah.
They might
give them the money.
Yeah, destroy the parking meters.
Well, we got to do the birthday song coming up.
Okay.
And then right
Okay.
after that, we'll get the contest
All
going.
right.
okay?
Outstanding.
All
We
right.
got Len Nelson coming up, Ben and Deanna Malcor, Grace Hageman from the Croc Center, Terry Barr, Slice of Wisconsin. Fun show coming up.
Well, a man named Leroy Brown. Now Leroy, more in trouble. You see, he stand about 6'4". Although downtown ladies call him treetop lover, all the men just call him sir. And it's bad, Leroy Brown, the baddest man in the whole damn town. Better than old King Kong, and meaner than a junkyard dog.
Listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Todd Allball Show.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
Farm Rescue, a nonprofit organization that provides free planting, haying, harvesting, commodity hauling, and livestock feeding assistance to farm families who have experienced a major illness, injury, or even natural disaster, has officially added Wisconsin to its growing list of service states. Dan Erdman, Marketing Program Manager at Farm Rescue, shares how they've gotten to this point to be able to expand since their inception in 2005.
We do work all across the Midwest. Like I said, it's 9 states, and early on, it was immediately apparent that this is not an isolated need. There are families dealing with unexpected injuries, illnesses, or natural disasters across the country. So when we have the resources available and volunteers and funding to expand our mission, that's always been a major goal. And Wisconsin is another great, agriculturally driven state. It works well within our current geographical footprint, and we're just honored to have the opportunity to offer our services to Wisconsin farm families in crisis.
You can learn more about farm rescue by heading to MidwestFarmReport.com. I'll have more news right after this.
All right, team, pay attention to this game film about Pioneer brand Plenish high oleic soybeans. See here? When dairy farms grow Plenish soybeans for their cows,
they have lower overall feed costs.
Good eye, Jake.
And they maximize milk fat production. So they increase the return on their investment.
Well, let that be a lesson to you. For lower feed costs and higher milk fat in dairy cows, what do we plant?
Pioneer brand Plenish high oleic soybeans.
Learn more at pioneer.com/happy cows.
Curious about how to eliminate weeds in organic vegetable farming? Get answers at the Oats Organic Weed Control Workshop, co-hosted with Marble Seed on September 19th in Athens, Wisconsin. Farm owner Kat Becker and organic weed control expert Sam Tilton will guide participants through the many vegetable weeding tool options available. You'll tour the farm learning about weed ecology and how to adjust your approach to match field conditions. Visit organicagronomy.org to register and secure your spot today.
I'm Charity Seebecker for the Midwest Farm Report with a look at your agribusiness news. The 60th annual Falcon Frontier Days Rodeo is Friday and Saturday, September 6th and 7th at the Outdoor Rodeo Arena at the University of Wisconsin River Falls. Friday's performance begins at 7 p.m., while Saturday's performances are set for 1:30 and 7 p.m. Rodeo attendees will have the opportunity to view numerous events ranging from saddle bronc riding to calf roping as well as barrel racing. The UW River Falls Rodeo Club will compete in the event, along with other collegiate teams that are members of the Great Plains region of the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association. You can learn more about this as well as find other agribusiness news stories on our website at MidwestFarmReport.com. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Charity Seebecker.
This is your hometown radio, refreshed, keeping you informed, entertained, and connected locally across the Civic Media Network.
Mostly cloudy this morning with a little more sunshine by later this afternoon. Our high today, 74. The wind out of the northeast at 5 to 15. Tonight, 61. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 79 with rain and thunderstorms tomorrow night. Could be some heavy rain, too, with a half inch or more possible. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 66.
Ganyo Clay Products in Green Bay salutes our first responders. They put their lives on the line for us. They're the backbone of our country and deserve our admiration, so thank them for everything they do for us. This from Ganyo Clay Products in Green Bay, your brick, stone, and fireplace expert since 1914. Call 920-498-8549 or visit GagnoClayProducts.com. That's GAGNON clayproducts.com.
And now for the Pella Play-by-Play, I'm Jeff Levering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 60 months with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 2024.
Where the fans own the team. This is the talk of Green Bay, 1590 AM and 97.9 FM. Miss part of the show or want to share it with a friend? Check out the Maino and the Mayor podcast at civicmedia.us and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Take Maino and the Mayor with you everywhere. Now, once again, Maino and the Mayor, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Yeah. Hey, thank you very much. Welcome back. Maino and the Mayor here on a beautiful Wednesday. Once again, 67 in Green Bay right now, 68 in Appleton, 71 in Oshkosh. Today is Otter Day. When I took my granddaughters up to the DeYoung Family Zoo in Wallace, Michigan, they've got a special thing you can do. It's something with the critters.
Like feed them, you mean?
Well, you go right in. They got these baby otters, and you go right into this room. And you get to play with the baby otters.
Otters are cool.
They are very cool.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
We had where I used to go fishing, there was an otter slide. And sometimes you'd be fishing and you'd see them. They'd go down their slide. It's like little kids on a slide at the
right.
park.
That's what I'm saying.
It was the coolest thing.
Very playful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Flip-flop day.
Is that Politician Day?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Which way you going on this one, Senator? Well, I'm going to talk to my constituents. I'm going to get the pulse.
Todd, that's flip-flops, right?
See what kind of envelopes I find under my newspaper on my desk.
I think they're talking about the stuff you wear on your feet.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I didn't know if that was dedicated.
When I'm so old, they used to be called shower sandals. Remember that? Remember that?
What they were called, like tongs? Not tongs.
Oh, yeah, tongs too, yeah.
That was what they were called.
But I remember I went to a football camp one time and it said the things you had to take, shower sandals.
Yeah.
and then
I remember those camps.
You know what, though? And then they said, for the parents, we know it's going to be hot and everything. We just want you to know we will have water and salt tablets for your kids.
Thanks.
Salt tablets for like 13-year-old kids.
Was that football camp you
Yeah.
went to? Oh, we went to music camp. We didn't have
Same thing, right?
We didn't have salts there.
Although I will say this, like I told you that.
But we did.
I can name 3 separate occasions where I had somebody at an event I was at with a high school marching band where somebody passed out in their big uniforms.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
Those are cool, though. I mean, you meet a lot of friends.
I know, but that's why the other night when it was super hot at the game we did, kids were in Hawaiian shirts and shorts, and that's the new...
Well, it's expensive, though. You got to raise money. You football guys, everybody gives, throw money at it. But bands, sometimes it's a little harder,
Yeah, I know.
But it is. They need summer uniforms in winter. No doubt.
I'm different. Like,
Okay.
I'm the guy on the sideline watching the parade go by, screaming, "You're out of line!" And where's your uniforms? Like, dang, get out there and sweat like the rest of us.
I
when we
agree.
did
It
that.
has gotten a little casual.
I want to see left foot on one,
but
right foot on two. I mean, I want to see it look good. I want those lines straight.
I agree with the line straight, but look at Notre Dame's uniforms. Those capes.
Yeah.
Those are heavy, and plus it's all dark clothes, and then the green and.
Wow.
I'm going to be right in the middle here on this one because I've been there where kids have passed out, but I'm also with Todd. It is so much more. It is cool and I got to tell you, I found this thing. There's this new, or not new, I don't think it's new.
Flip-flop day. Okay, go
but
ahead.
there's a Facebook page called Born in Nagani.
Okay.
Born in Nagani. And what was that?
Like Bruce Springsteen. What do you mean? There's a face Born in Nagani. Why would what? I don't. That makes absolutely no sense to me. Born in Nagani is a Facebook page.
I love it. Growing up in Oshkosh is a Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Really? Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm not on that. But okay. Well, all right. So that's. So what,
Did you see the one Proud Roncalli alums?
No,
because there isn't one.
I got to give you a text I came across on Facebook.
I'm starting.
Michael said Jim could wrap himself in linens while wearing his shower sandals.
Oh my God!
That
when
could work.
somebody mentioned linens, Michael mentioned linens yesterday during the show. I almost choked.
I know. And while you're saying that, Jim's got a linens fetish, which is
my God.
That was
exactly.
a little weird. That was a little weird. But that lady from, I just want to say, I was
Beth.
telling Donna last night about that.
Ruby's.
Was that her from Ruby's? I said, yeah. It's a great company. So, yeah. Anyway, Born in Nagani.
Okay. So anyway, they did a thing from the centennial in 1965. Found all this old film. Okay. And for the centennial parade and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm saying is there was a group called the Blue Notes, the Ishpeming Blue Notes. It was a drum and bugle corps.
Oh, yeah.
Do they even have drum and bugle corps
Oh, yeah.
anymore?
Some places,
Very
yeah.
popular.
And
Okay.
some of them are really good.
And what I'm saying is
look
I'm
at the
watching
Tundra
that and it's
line.
like, oh my gosh, what you guys are saying about in-step, perfect uniforms.
Boom.
This is from 1965, and the camera was set up high where you're coming right to them. And I remember, and that the director, I mean, it was.
That's awesome.
It was like,
You
so
snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a snap to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Is that impressive watching that?
I love the peer pressure in band when somebody would get out of line and somebody next to him, like a senior or a junior. Get in line,
Yeah.
you know?
Really?
Oh, I love that.
But think about that. That's harder than you might
Oh,
think.
the
Because you
precision.
got to play an instrument too.
Absolutely.
Now, granted, you have the music, but
Well, half the time, the rest of you instruments were doing nothing while the
They're
drummers are doing the cadence while you guys are just, we're always working in the percussion
you play?
section. Drums.
oh, that's the best.
I would love to
for
do
a
that.
marching band. There's
Yeah.
nothing better.
Yeah.
But you got to
The
see
xylophone guys. There's some the drum lines they're very, very popular. East has their own drum line. It's really, really good. And so does when we went to the
I'd
game.
love to get them in here one morning.
Or
That'd be great.
UWGB has a pretty good drum line too. When we went to the basketball game, they come out and perform.
Well,
Those
I like
guys
the
are
ones
really
even
good.
at Lambeau.
Well, those guys
that go
are
around.
really good.
I think that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
And they can get a crowd around there. And, that's...
I'll tell you what, though. I got to be
up.
honest with you. There's a couple of times yesterday at our house where we did the show and the Packer tailgate band. I mean, they were... I got goosebumps sometimes with some of those songs.
Oh,
They're so good.
Those guys are the best.
And great guys, too.
Just
good
the
guys.
greatest
Not
guys.
a jerk in that group,
No,
you know?
they love it.
Yeah.
And, those guys are good guys. And that's also, talk of the town, too. So
I still
play...
get a kick out of though. Todd's giving them like a rap, and they were taking us like, play louder.
Kevin finally said, give me a cutthroat when you want me to be done.
They're like oblivious.
I'm going to try that with you guys pretty soon.
Yeah, they are really, and they got such a variety. Now that's all Packer and the fight songs, and
I love when they do.
When the Saints go marching in.
The old Packer kickoff song,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
in my front lawn when I was a kid, I would throw the ball to myself and be like I was Travis Williams returning it.
Throw it up,
and I'd be while I'm running, I'd have the fight song in my life.
There you go.
And you know what? I'm not the only kid that did that.
No,
I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
That song still gives me goosebumps.
That band is so good, and they also with Talk of the Town, and I'm sure you've heard them perform before, but so we're having that big thing November 19th, the bye week of the Packer season at the Northland Hotel, celebrating their 100th anniversary. So I called Kevin. I'm like, hey, look, because they play Sing, Sing, Sing. They have great 20s, 30s music, but they're already booked. And I even talked to him yesterday. I said, can you get out of that thing?
Oh,
man, I'm booked.
I was talking with the banjo guy who's such a great guy.
Oh, he's awesome.
Talking about all the different states and different things. They got so many gigs, it's mind-boggling.
What did Kevin? I forgot how many they did this summer. Like, I think 5 days a week. That is unbelievable to play that much. But they love it, and they're really, really good. And they, like you said, Todd, they all get along.
Somebody even put a thing on. I mean, that band looks like it's a party just on its own.
Yep.
And it's true.
That takes everything we do when they're with us.
Yeah.
Just up
that makes
2
the whole
notches.
thing.
Yeah.
And when they played at the City Band concert, whatever, 3 or 4 Wednesdays ago, then I had them over at my house after, for that like hot dog party.
Bar.
And they
hot dog bar.
They stayed.
I
have to work.
Why do I have a feeling?
And Kevin said, "Look, Jim's gonna get to bed, but they they're fun. They're fun to talk to as much as listen to.
Absolutely, just great guys.
Yeah,
that was super. But I have another thing that I like. Have you ever watched? What was the movie? Drumline, I think, was the name of the movie, where you have the historically black colleges. That's HBC. When they have their big band concerts, where it's a competition, that's amazing. The athleticism of these people. And synchronity or whatever the term is mind-boggling. I love watching them.
Those bands are really, really good. And if you go to
I think it's Southern University. Well, is that Louisiana, Todd?
That was in the movie. Yep.
Okay, that's what's in the movie.
Yep.
Okay.
But if you go to the presidential inauguration and they have the parade and they invite these bands, those bands, and everybody's showing off to be better than the next. And they, you got to sit where they do more of their performances. But it's just there's those kids, man. They're unbelievably talented. I mean, we are just pretty much marched in a straight line.
Even like you go to a Badger game or something,
those guys are
the different formations.
Oh, yeah.
How do you learn all those things and in step? And like Ohio State, where you see where they do the whole Ohio as it's going, and then one person comes out and dots the I.
Yeah.
You're
on a football field too, though, So you do that. You're not cheating, but at least there's lines.
Yeah.
Jim, did they? I mean, they would literally lay out the formations on pages, and it'd be pinwheel curve. It's step 2, whatever it was.
How much practice does it take?
Oh my gosh, all summer just to get ready for football season.
Somebody like me would just follow the guy in front of me.
Oh,
yeah.
You're one of those people.
I was not the front guy.
Yeah, I could see that.
If he goes the wrong way, they're all going the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I actually like? I tell people. I said my favorite sport. People always say, "What's your favorite sports thing in the world?" Mine is Friday night at a high school stadium.
Oh yeah.
And even one of the things because when they walk in, they just do the as they're marching up to the stadium type thing. I think that's cool. I really do.
That's the cadence that the drummers have to play.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Every school has their own kind of cadence.
Okay.
And sometimes I would like that when the band director would really give you guys like a really cool cadence. There's different ones, right?
Yep.
And some of them are like, just a lot of rim
We had
shots
a really cool one.
Yeah.
How about those band guys? Or it's not. What would it be? The main guy that
Major.
They run up,
Major.
You ever
drum
Notre
major.
Dame football? Yeah, the Notre Dame football games. You got to see that guy is 45-degree angle
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
with a real cocky, which in a great way.
Totally.
But
Oh,
it's
they are.
amazing how he runs out at that position.
And there's really, and that's great, but Madison, I mean, how competitive it is to be the drum major there.
I
but
believe
that's
it.
unbelievable what they do. So, yeah, it's very, very cool.
No,
and it's
all
a
the
lot.
respect
And those
in the
kids
world.
have a lot of fun, too. I mean, like the team has a lot of fun, but band is a lot of fun, too.
No question. Got a text here, Jim. You should reach out to high school jazz bands to see if they would play for the Northland.
You know, thank you for that text, but I've already reached out to the UWGB jazz band and I booked them. So they're the ones who are going to play at the Northland. And they, too, high school bands are great, but actually the guy called me heard about this thing, and that's a good band, the UWGB jazz band. So they're going to play all that 20s.
You know what was cool? Because it's fun, obviously watching the Badger band at Lambeau or Camp Randall or whatever. I thought it was really cool. I'm going back, 20 years now? For the 100th anniversary of the Green Bay East, Green Bay West game. And they had not the entire band, but they had probably 50 people.
Right.
I thought that was cool, seeing the Badger band right here at East Stadium.
Yep, honoring the two teams. Yeah, that was very cool.
I thought that was super cool. And I love when they play Roll Up the Barrel and the band members all dance together, do that stuff.
They
bring a certain something.
And that's why they not that the NFL would do anything for financially, but they want people to stay so that fifth quarter. Nobody leaves.
Nobody
right?
leaves.
I mean, maybe a couple hundred people, but everybody leaves. Stays for that fifth quarter, which
Nobody
is
leaves.
Like the best.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I forget which Packer game it was, but it was when the Packers were finally getting good under Holmgren, and they won a big game, and just by chance, the band, it's the fifth quarter.
Yeah.
I forget which game it was. Maybe, I don't know. I'm never going to say there were so many big games back then. There was such an electricity in that stadium.
They can bring it.
Because people were still high from the wind, like the last
and then
second
you
wind.
top it off
and
with
then
these
them.
guys. Yeah.
I've never experienced energy like that in a football at a sporting event in my life.
Well, that was, I think I've been to a couple of those games, but when they came for that LSU game.
Yeah. People, even yesterday, somebody mentioned that, right?
Right. We're talking about how great Lambeau, and they're like, well,
but you bring a college atmosphere.
They're like, the best experience I had at Lambeau was, the Badgers and LSU. But yeah, those guys, and their conductor now, he retired, but anyway, just nicest guy on the planet. And that was a whole lot of fun. And those kids just really enjoy band, and they have to try out. That's not like, okay, sign up and I'm in. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Did you play in college, Todd, when you went to college?
Never went to college.
You didn't go to college?
I did not go to college. I was going to go for journalism, took a year off, and never went.
Where did you go? Did you go to Brown?
I didn't go.
How did you get into Are you serious?
I got a job at a little radio station in Ripon, Wisconsin, playing music to the cows out in the cornfield, and that's where I got started.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's old school. That's great. But to be able to walk into a radio station, especially back then, and they give you a job,
yeah,
wow.
Pretty talented.
Because everybody thought they could do radio. And when I was in high school, we probably about 6 kids that wanted to get into radio like I did. I thought that was going to be my career. I mean,
really?
But it was hard, man. For those except for the real graveyard shifts, I guess. Where you didn't say much, and Sunday morning.
I did a few of those.
Yeah,
definitely.
Even though
cut your teeth,
you're a little bit older, Todd. That gap year thing, I couldn't get my arms around that because I think that can lead to income opportunities, and it's people take a year off between high school and college. That gap year,
yeah.
And are they going to go back? That's. I would say to the kids, I know you didn't, and that's what I'm saying. I say to my kids, like, look, just
when I worked at Iron Ore Mines,
this is awesome music,
and these kids were getting these really sweet checks,
right? And you're in there, right?
Yeah, this is awesome. Got a thing here. Imagine a drum line echoing off the streets by you guys in downtown. 6 in the morning, shut down the streets. We guess there a quick break. Len Nelson will be joining us soon. Back up this.
The Talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
When you think about Labor Day and what it means, do you think about Wisconsin? You should, but let's go back to explain. In the mid-1800s, activists pushed for a day to recognize workers' contributions. President Grover Cleveland signed a law in 1894 making the first Monday of every September a national holiday. So where did the first labor union form in Wisconsin? Wausau? Green Bay? Milwaukee? The answer coming up. The Badger State has an impressive history. Bricklayers and carpenters formed unions in the 1840s and were the first to push for workers' compensation and unemployment insurance. Now, did you guess? This all happened first in Milwaukee. The state's labor unions formed in 1847. The National Labor Union didn't form until 1866, 19 years later. Leading the way for other states is this slice of Wisconsin. I'm Terry Barr for the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening.
Hit me!
This is awesome.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I think this should be our music thing for every Friday during football season.
All right, we'll do that.
Little drum line.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I have.
You ever meet Patina Driver?
Oh, yeah.
She was Golden Girl for Alcorn A&M, I think is where he went. And Driver used to say, sometimes the coach would be talking about whatever, and he had his eye out on that. The Golden Girl shoes. We got to get him on and talk about that.
On that show I have on Sundays, local, the first Sunday of the month, we dedicate to the NFL draft.
Oh, okay.
So I got to change the music for that time.
Absolutely.
Right now we have some good music. I use a lot of music from the series Suits. Did you watch? Did I ask you about that?
Yeah,
I've watched it.
Okay. Anyway, the music is good.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you like the show or not, the music is awesome.
I think you should get NFL Films music.
I don't want to get in any trouble for any of that stuff, you know. But like, I would take between one of the breaks, I would take the drum line. Oh man, because that's
we could find that.
You want to talk about Goosebumps? John Facenda, just his voice. I've only called a TV station twice in my life to complain about something. And I told you one time was when I was in college because I was so into Dallas, the show Dallas.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. And they kept promoting, the season finale of Dallas. And they show this car explode and everything like that. So you're waiting for it. And then it's like Barnaby Jones is on or something. It's like, wait, what? And I called and they said that was like that's going to be the first episode of next season.
Oh.
And it's like, what a bait and switch that was. Yeah. But then another one up at Marquette on Sunday afternoons, they'd always advertise NFL Films. And I would wait all weekend and sit, and there'd be outdoor fishing in the Great Lakes type. And it's like, they'd haphazardly play it. That's one thing that inspired me to become a sports guy is NFL Films.
Oh, yeah.
I love the editing, the video.
Yeah.
The one, could you try to look this one up, Todd?
Sure.
Real quick. The Oakland Raiders. The invaders from the sea.
That was fun talking about them yesterday, too.
Oh, yeah.
They had some crazy owners. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. But that was what they put together back then. No one has been able to do a better job of capturing the NFL and the essence of the NFL more. I mean, even like the frozen tundra.
Is that John Madden era? What was that era?
Yeah. But you got to hear the one thing about the Raiders. It's so incredible.
Is it called The Autumn Wind?
Yes. Just hear. Can we play a little bit?
Yeah. It'll take a couple seconds.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Just listen to this.
And then we got to have happy birthday this
morning.
morning.
Was that
swaggering boisterously? His face is weather beaten. He wears a hooded sash with a silver hat about his head and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
How cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
He had the cadence with the,
phenomenal.
Great.
Isn't that great? That was probably from 1970-ish.
Yeah.
74.
74, okay. Nothing's been done better.
Yeah.
All the technology, all the unbelievably talented, people, editors or whatever. Nothing has been done better than John Facenda in 1974 with that old film.
Yeah. That gets you going.
Yeah.
That's great.
Exactly.
That talk about like capturing a moment. I think some of the music, these drum lines that we're talking about, and these they kind of lost a little of that, right? The Bears used to be big. They had their old Bears band. The Packers used to have their own band, and that stuff's kind of gone away. So it's kind of cool to harken back to
absolutely
like 60s,
totally agree.
70s.
Just because things have changed doesn't mean they've changed for the better.
I agree.
I mean, I would still love to have a Packer band, the whole thing out in that corner,
right,
playing during the timeout.
What would be wrong with that, right?
I don't know. And I know he said about when they changed the stadium, they couldn't do it anymore.
You find a way.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the other thing is, I don't think it was a financial thing I don't think Kevin's band charged much.
I
if
don't
anything,
know anything.
Right.
I don't think they charge anything.
He really, really enjoyed it. It's like a PR thing. So I don't know what happened, but the Bears had a band too. Ben Arden was the director. It was called Ben's Bears, a friend of my dad's. And they had their band in the end zone.
The Baltimore
but that's
Colts.
Not there.
There was actually a movie made, or not a movie, like a 30-30 or something about the old Baltimore Colts band, and they were like one of the first ones with the cheerleaders and they're marching out, and that was such a big thing. And the band, even after the Colts left, the band stayed together because they were the band played on. That might have been the name of the thing, because the band stayed together because they were so popular, even though the Colts left town.
Yeah. Anyway, music's great. Football, it's all good. And you're right. I mean, things have changed, and have they changed for the better? I mean, the game's obviously I think the game's better, but yeah.
Tell me you can find anybody right now with a voice better than John Facenda.
Right. No.
Or writing like that and incorporating the video.
Steve Sable?
Steve Sable.
Sable. He was the one who wrote it.
Yeah. I actually did a story with him one time. That was kind of funny. When they were looking for a new John Facenda. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I did this story where I'd have, who was the best one who actually could have done it? Remember Lee Remmel?
Yeah.
The old Packers PR?
Yeah.
Oh, legendary Curly Lambeau. And he was great, okay? So I had Steve Sable doing this thing, and then I read something. He goes, whoa, wait, who's that guy? Who's that guy? That's the guy we want. Are you kidding me? What will it take to get this guy? Yeah.
Is that a true story?
Oh, yeah, I'll try to find it. I did it for one of my TV shows. I used to do a Maino feature every week.
Yeah.
And that was the feature. And and obviously it was a joke.
It was a joke.
Said, "Who's that guy?"
Gotcha.
That was the punchline.
Okay, I was going to say.
And Steve, we don't have anybody else left. We've went through all the major. I had TV guys, doing it.
All right.
Let me just give it a shot. Oh my gosh, we found him. What's it going to take?
That was just
back up the trucks.
Okay.
Pay him whatever he wants. No, that was the punchline of the story.
Okay, I got it. That's funny.
I thought you were trying to tell me that he really wanted you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Right.
Also, today is Senior Health and Fitness Day. Very important.
Good.
It's
That's
right
an
up your
important day.
alley.
Well, there's the ADRC. There's so many, even with the health and fitness, the lady that came in from UWGB, that lifelong learning, the ADRC, the Y. There's a lot of programs for that. So that's good that we honor that. There's a lot of good things. Oh, you got to sing.
Yeah, we got a minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, all right. Who's this to?
Sheila.
Happy birthday, Sheila.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sheila. Happy birthday to you.
Ooh, that was interesting.
That was good word. Good word, Fort.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Sheila.
Happy birthday, Sheila.
All right.
I met her sister last week.
That's right, Sarah.
At the book signing.
All right.
Yeah.
This is, very happy
They're
birthday.
awesome.
They're super nice people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, love them.
Len Nelson will be joining us next, talk about a big fundraiser for Rick Menil. Back after this.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW. Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, Esther Flonez is our guest, and also Dr. Laura Hanks with another edition of Public Service Announcement. Send your questions to janesays@civicmedia.us.
Matnair on air, weekday mornings at 10.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram. You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay. WGBW 1590 AM Denmark. W250 CV Green Bay. And always streaming on the Civic Media app.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Special Counsel Jack Smith filing a streamlined indictment against Donald Trump in the election interference case. This one narrowing the charges following that Supreme Court decision granting presidents immunity for acts while in office. Here's ABC's Aaron Katursky.
The special counsel is making clear that even though the presidential immunity ruling from the Supreme Court may have curtailed some of the charges, Jack Smith is still moving full steam ahead, believing that the former president was still at the head of this conspiracy.
Incursion into the Israeli-occupied West Bank. IDF forces moving in on the city of Jenin, where militants are believed to be hiding out. At least 9 Palestinians killed. A new Surgeon General advisory on parenting and stress. New data shows nearly half of all parents say most days their stress is overwhelming. Only about a quarter of adults without kids say that. The White House holding a summit today for families of those who've died of drug overdoses. This is ABC News. Construction underway at what will become the new elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, replacing Robb Elementary that came under attack in 2022.
In many ways, the new school, which still has no name, will be a tribute to the 21 people who died at the hands of a gunman.
Throughout the building, there'll be images of honeybees and trickles of water and butterflies, and many of those will be in amounts of 21.
The Uvalde School District's Tim Miller says that at its minimum,
the school will be very safe, very secure,
when it welcomes students in the fall of 2025. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
The first person to get into the U.S. Capitol on January 6 won't be going anywhere for a while. Michael Sparks has now been sentenced to more than 4 years behind bars. On the day of the riots, he climbed through a broken window and chased a police officer up a flight of stairs. NFL owners will be getting some partners. League owners now approving a measure that will allow private equity firms to buy up to 10% of a team. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Join Lou Rugani for the Music of the Stars every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. until noon. Lou brings back the nostalgia from the golden age of radio with the music, drama, and comedy shows that made radio magic. Music of the Stars is sponsored by Lakeland Care, providing personalized support that aims to improve quality of life and maintain independence for elders and those with disabilities. It's the Music of the Stars, Sunday at 7 on 97.9 FM and 1590 AM WGBW, Talk of Green Bay.
Max Inc. on Civic Media with Mike and Wendy from Sunspot. Can you imagine the mosh pit on the bridge that could happen?
Oh, well, that's how the original series was when they moved the camera. Whenever it's like the red alert. Right.
Yeah.
That was the mosh pit.
Yeah.
And everybody had to fake
right. Lean left,
great.
lean right.
Yeah. Join us for all the fun with Max Inc. on Saturday nights, 6 to midnight, across the Civic Media Radio Network and on the Civic Media app.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news in depth. Find it in the news section at WGBW.FM.
For Civic Media News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Could the state soon get its first national park? Representative Tom Tiffany wants to make that happen. He's proposed for the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore to become a national park. That designation would mean the area gets additional funding for conservation and projects. Wisconsin is one of 20 states without a national park. And all summer, you've had to check to make sure beaches are open because toxic algae blooms can cause them to close. Well, the Environmental Protection Agency says it's happening more and more. John Rumpler of Environment America says big factory farms are one of the main contributors.
That volume of manure, whether it's spread on crops or otherwise managed, it just all too often winds its way from the croplands to rivers and lakes and streams.
The EPA is considering updating regulations on waste from slaughterhouses for the first time in 40 years. And that's what you need to know. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson, and this is Civic Media News.
The Brewers lose in a battle of home runs. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kusko with sports. Milwaukee hit 2 home runs, but the San Francisco Giants hit 3 of their own to win 5-4 on Tuesday night, including the go-ahead shot by Mike Yastrzemski.
As Yastrzemski swings, it's a high fly ball deep right. Frelick going back at the track, at the wall. It's gone! And just like that, the Giants go back ahead.
That call courtesy of KNBR. Milwaukee was leading the NL Central by 12 games a week ago, but after losing 4 of the last 6, the Brewers' lead is down to 9 in front of the Chicago Cubs. The second of 3 games in the series against the Giants is tonight in Milwaukee. The Packers trimmed their roster down to 53 players on Tuesday. Green Bay placed running back A.J. Dillon on injured reserve in one of the moves. The Packers also kept kicker Greg Joseph over Anders Carlson, a 6th-round draft pick last year. For Civic Media Sports, I'm Jimmy Kuska.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
Mostly cloudy this morning with a little more sunshine by later this afternoon. Our high today 74. The wind out of the northeast at 5 to 15. Tonight 61. Tomorrow partly cloudy 79 with rain and thunderstorms tomorrow night. Could be some heavy rain too with a half inch or more possible. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 66.
Pete Schwaba.
On the next Nightlight, I'm joined by the co-host of the Maggie Dawn Show and actor Brian Kelly, and director of the cult classic The Giant Spider Invasion and Wisconsin native Bill Rebane.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. Weeknights 7 till 9.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay.
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor. And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, thank you very much. Welcome back to Maino and the Mayor here, 97.9 FM, WGBW, 98.3 FM, WISS, and of course the Civic Media app. We are joined by a radio legend right now, Len Nelson from WAPL for how many years?
I don't know, about 40.
40
like
years,
that, close to it. Yeah.
2 legends in the house. You, Johnny.
Oh,
You're
okay. I
one.
wasn't sure there. Okay. Because, when I put that picture of you, me, and Aaron Popke on my Facebook, and my buddy Knob, who's very caustic, put a thing, 2 of the 3 people in here have the exact same BMI. And I said, are you including the guy in the band behind us? But Len Nelson here, talk about a very, very special event for a very special friend of ours, another longtime radio legend. And I'm just going to turn it over to Len because you can handle a microphone better than anybody. So take it away about what we're working on here, buddy.
First thing, next time I come on the show, I want to be introduced as radio legend and proud marching band alumnus.
Oh,
are you?
Oh, hell yeah!
What'd you play?
I played trumpet.
Wow.
In the high school band and the summer marching band and the football band and the whole thing.
Isn't that as much camaraderie and fun as being on the field?
It was an absolute blast.
Oh, man,
yeah,
it's the best.
You talk about hot days and in the uniforms. We had the full uniforms with the kind of plastic shield covering and the whole thing.
The breastplate.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was something. We did in 1976 for the bicentennial. Our band got to go.
Oh, fun.
Yes, I'm that old. We got to go over to Detroit. Dearborn Village, actually.
Oh, that's a cool place, actually.
Yeah, it's a great place. And we were on national TV for a big bicentennial celebration, but it was like 98 degrees that day.
And you're blowing that away.
And I will tell you from experience that the first people to pass out, always the woodwind section.
Yeah,
down they go. They're weak. 4 or 5 kids were down getting medical treatment while the band's playing. It was,
I will say that you guys don't miss a beat.
No, absolutely not. And of course, being ne'er-do-well, some of us might have snuck out of the dorm building there at Dearborn Village and went wandering the streets of Detroit at the age of 15.
Pretty good idea.
Brilliant.
How fun is
Brilliant.
that? Yeah. The security was not as tight for the band as it was for the team.
No, it certainly wasn't.
What high school was it?
Columbia Heights in Minnesota.
Wow.
A suburb of Minneapolis where I went.
I had chaperoned, our kids were in band. Sorry, we'd chaperoned the band down to New Orleans. Now, they tried to sneak up, but our security was pretty good. We had people in the hall all night. But anyway, they had a lot of fun down there. And that is just a very cool experience for a kid. I would encourage them, if they're not going to play on the field, to definitely play in the band.
I encourage fans to not ignore the band.
Totally agree.
It's a lot of games that's kind of an afterthought. No, the bands are out there. They're working hard. They practice, too, just like the football team. So give them some love.
They do. Well, thanks for saying that, Len, because they do. I think it's a good point. They practice and work very hard. I mean, they practice as much as
and it's part of the whole experience.
It is, and that discipline on the field, obviously, but the discipline in the band, like marching and playing, and of course you had the music in front of you. But I don't know if you guys did or not.
We did whole marching too. I mean, we were knees up. We didn't do this shuffle along like so many marching bands do. Where it's easier to keep a line. We had the whole shooting match.
Wow.
We'd swing our instruments, and that was a blast.
And how cool is that too? And that takes work to do that. I mean, we just did the shuffles, and that was hard enough for me. But it's so much fun watching these really good bands. Now these drum lines have really taken the center stage on some of this. But I think you make a good point. Like, let's appreciate the band too. They never really give the applause to the band, and they should.
And let's appreciate the band program and support them in schools financially too, because we're getting off topic here, but the studies show that kids in band and music programs do better academically. In the other studies too, and I guess it's probably part of the discipline.
I was just going to say, it shows they've got the discipline, right?
It is that whole doctors and the music. That's a huge concert. So many of these doctors play music, and then even across the street here at Schreiber, the president of Schreiber is just a great bass player, and just a lot of these people, they don't talk about it as much as I wish they would. What'd you do in school? And I wish they would talk more about music. And now I'm the executive of this and that. But yeah, I think that's a shout out to all musicians. It's great.
Speaking of musicians, I've got a few who have stepped up to help out my former
cool.
radio
Let's talk about our benefit for Rick McNeil.
It's called the Rock for Rick Benefit Concert. It's Sunday, September 8th. That is the weekend the Packers open the season. Yeah, it's just a week and a half. We picked that date because the Packers play on Friday.
Yep.
That game in Brazil against Philly, so there's no Packer game that day. It's going to be from noon to 8-ish, maybe going later. I don't know. At Maloney's, which is just a little bit north of Kaukauna, right off Highway 41. Pretty easy to find, Maloney's Bar. They have a big event center there, and then they also have a giant outdoor area too, big huge patio with an elk farm right next door. You can watch the elk. Okay. And so we're going to have 2 stages, 7 bands, and the bands have been spectacular. To a band, when I called them to ask them if they wanted to be involved or would donate their time and efforts to a band, they all said yes immediately. A couple of them had some scheduling problems, so we couldn't get them in. But
Glam Band's going to be there for one of them, right?
The Glam Band is our headliner. Yeah, they'll be the last band up. But we're going to start things out at noon with a fantastic band, A-Town Unplugged. Great guys, and they do all the cool songs that you forgot how much you loved kind of band, and they do put their own spin on them, and they're really spectacular. Really good stuff. Then we're going to switch to the outdoor stage. So it'll be back and forth, constant music all day, indoors, then outdoors.
Well, that's cool.
Walt Hamburger and his band are going to play. Walt's a fantastic songwriter, great guy, and has been a friend of the Rick and Len show back in the day for a very long time. And then we'll have Boxcar. The band Boxcar, great band. Chris Sabini and the fellows are going to play, reuniting for this show. They broke up a few years ago, but they're going to reunite and play.
They were really popular around the area.
Played them a lot on the radio. And then we're going to have Infrared on the outdoor stage, followed by the Cool Waters Band indoors, another one of the fantastic bands in the Valley that I will say right now is as hot and tight and wicked good as they've ever been. Just spectacular. And then we'll have Audio Chonk back on the outside stage and then back inside for the Glam Band.
How did you get 7 bands in one day?
To play on the same day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Well, I have this
monumental.
I have this special magic power, you see, John.
Okay.
No, it's because these guys, they probably grew up listening to the radio station, listening to the Rick and Len show. They know what Rick has meant to the Fox Valley and Green Bay radio scene over the years. And, they were probably in the back seat of their parents' car going to school when their parents were listening to us, and the kids were hearing things that kids those ages should not have been listening to. But they just wanted to support because Rick and I were always pretty big into supporting local music and the bands in our area. And I think it was probably their sensible way to pay that back. Plus, you get to play for a big crowd. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
I hope the place is big enough because response has been kind of overwhelming for this.
Well, I'm on the Facebook thing, and almost every day there's something posted about, incredible auction items are coming in.
We're going to do a silent auction. Yeah, we got not only really cool items and collectibles and things like that, but also some experiences, too. We've got Ted Nugent sent a signed acoustic guitar that he used on his Adios Mofo final tour. It's a stage-used guitar with some artwork on it, and Ted signed that. He'd always been a really big supporter of charities that we were involved in, and he heard that Rick was having his issues, and our friend Bill Austin, who goes hunting with Ted quite a lot in Wisconsin and Michigan, he called Ted, and Ted was right there. He dug through his stuff. So it's from his personal collection. We've also got a a custom-made guitar. Bruce Lee Rose, a local luthier in the Fox Valley, makes fantastic instruments, and he donated a really cool guitar that'll be up for auction. Playable guitar. I mean, guys in bands around here will tell you he's absolutely one of the best, and his instruments are wonderful. We've got a sport fishing outing from Real Impression Sport Fishing, which I think is based in Sturgeon Bay. John Pollock, Captain John, he donated that as a trip for 6 hours out on the lake. So that's a big deal.
That's a very big deal.
Harley?
Oh, well, it's not a Harley. It's a bicycle.
Right.
It's a Harley.
First generation. That's
Yeah, it's one of those e-bikes.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
very
if you've
cool.
tried those, but they are awesome.
Aren't they?
Yeah, and John Brunner at the fitness store in Manitowoc, he got in touch with me and said, "Hey, I want to give you an e-bike. It's like you got a retail value of like $3,000."
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really nice one, but it's a Harley edition e-bike.
That's fantastic.
That's going to be cool.
So yeah, that's just a smattering of the items. A couple that I know, they were cleaning out their dad's place, and his dad had all of these old whiskey decanters, Jim Beam and a couple other brands of the really old,
collectibles.
still filled, still the original seals and everything. Some pretty valuable ones in there too. We have those on there. It's just endless. Stays at a couple, Lynn Denny and her husband, have a cottage up in Sister Bay. They donated a 3-day stay there. Edge of Dulles Resort, the Roberts family stepped up.
Isn't that great? You're sharing this whole thing. Isn't it great? The support of the community.
It really
in
is.
Green Bay. I mean, it's just, or not Green Bay, the whole Fox Valley. It just, they're tough to do. There's a lot of moving parts to it, but the community's very, very giving.
And I will say the folks who run Maloney's have been outstanding.
Right.
Boy, they stepped up immediately and have been invaluable. And Norm and Jesse and Heidi and the whole crew there at Maloney's got behind this right away, and they've been great. Instaprints, printing posters.
Right.
You know, it's anything. It's just like you ask, and it's an automatic yes.
Isn't it kind of a weird little bit of a thing, though, Lynn? And you and I have both been in radio for a lot of years, and we've both promoted literally hundreds, maybe thousands of events.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's one that's near and dear, as close as you could possibly have outside of a family member. You know what I mean?
Right.
And isn't it kind of, how the world turns, and now you see it from the other side?
I will tell you that I've been involved like you in hundreds of charity events and benefit concerts and things like that. Never quite from this side.
Exactly.
And kudos to the people who do this stuff.
Absolutely.
It is a lot of work.
That's what I mean.
I'm not complaining, but I'm complaining.
Yeah.
It's a little bit overwhelming at times.
Exactly.
So a well-run benefit takes a ton of people and a ton of effort.
And there's a lot of them, these schools, and I just really applaud the people. And it's important that that it's well attended, and it's a benefit. I mean, we got to spend a little money there. You got to, enjoy.
That's the goal. Yeah. Don't just come to see the bands.
Right.
Bring your wallet.
Exactly.
You got a text here. Grew up listening to Nelson and McNeil. I'm going to be there and support the cause and enjoy the music.
Yeah. And I suppose we should mention why we're doing the benefit concert.
Yeah, I guess.
My longtime partner at WAPL, Rick McNeil, he suffered some health issues, started with cellulitis. He's told the story. He tells it in gory and graphic detail, as Rick is wont to do. But he had a fall at his house, ended up not being able to get up for extended period of time. By that time, the cellulitis had kind of set in, so he had that infection. They gave him some antibiotics that he was on, and that shut down his kidney system.
Yeah.
So it's been a series of setbacks for him, and at this point, Rick's not able to take more than a couple of steps. We're working in rehab and therapy to try to get him up and walking again and able to go home and live on his own. So that is the goal at this point, and unfortunately, insurance has cut him off, so we need to help him out.
Can you stick around for another segment?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I want to say, you mentioned something. Remember we had somebody on, the most frequent calls for firefighters were falls?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
falls are...
And look what that led to, unfortunately.
Exactly. Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
So,
all right, we're going to
get
send a quick break. Len Nelson joining us. Back after this.
You say you want to go for a spin. The party's just begun, we'll let you in. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy.
This is the talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
Are you seeking an amazing atmosphere where you can enjoy well-executed comfort food for lunch or dinner? Maybe even a cold craft beer, signature cocktail, or glass of wine after a hard day's work? Look no further than Heights Pub and Parlor in downtown Green Bay. 3 levels of gorgeous architecture with top-notch friendly service, mouthwatering food, and a kitchen open Monday through Saturday from 11 to 9. You'll find any excuse to come back. Visit weekdays from 11 to 10 and open till 11 Fridays and Saturdays. Check us out on Facebook or online at heightsgb.com.
Register today for the 15th annual RX Link Golf Classic in support of Naranon at Thornberry Creek at Oneida. It's Friday, August 30th and starts with registration and breakfast at 9 a.m., followed by a shotgun start at 10. Happy hour starts at 4 p.m., followed by the awards dinner and silent auction. Proceeds support Naranon, a 12-step program for families and friends of addicts. Advanced registration is suggested and simple. Just call Thornberry Creek at Oneida, 920-434-7501, or search for RX Link Golf online. See you August 30th.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay.
And I like your style. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. You show us everything you've got. Baby, that's quite.
Hey, welcome back. Maino and the Mayor here. We got Ben and Deanna Malcourt coming up in a little bit. We got Grace Hageman from the Kroc Center talking about a huge event they've got coming up. And, of course, Terry Barr with our Slice of Wisconsin. But first, Len Nelson here, legend from WAPL, talking about his longtime partner, Rick McNeil, who, one thing leads to another with health when you get to a certain age. You hate to say it, but he's in that situation.
Yeah.
And we've all been there to help other people, and now we're doing it for a friend of ours.
And then in this crazy world we live in, insurance doesn't do what we think they're going to do.
Well, here's the nutty, crazy thing. So the guy needs, he's in rehab and therapy now, living at a rehab center because he needs, pretty much constant care at this point. And his insurance company decided that his progress wasn't fast enough, so they're not paying anymore. And this, the cost of therapy and rehab, particularly inpatient, where you're living at the facility, is incredible. It's outrageous. And so that's what we're doing, because he's going to need this for an extended period of time. So we're raising funds to help him get through that, get back up on his feet, and be able to get back home and living on his own. And I think that's good. He's making some progress. I think they've had him up and taking some steps because of the process of the series of health setbacks he had. The musculature in his legs kind of atrophied. So it's a nutty situation. His attitude through the whole thing has been, of course, to keep everybody up to date on every little part of it.
How is he doing, though?
If you want some details about how your urinary
which we do not.
No, we don't like
which
that.
Your urinary system doesn't work. I'm saying just
it's 7:21 in the morning.
Ask Rick. Take an hour out of your time. He'll tell you.
We'll pass. But how's his attitude? I mean, they always say that's part of it.
I talked to him on the phone and we text back and forth. And first of all, he's incredibly grateful. He's overwhelmed with the response that the Rock for Rick benefit concert has engendered, and the interest in his situation and stuff. So that's cool. And I think that's a big help for him, too, to know that people are thinking about him and care and are hopefully willing to spend some money to help him out. But the concert's going to be fantastic. September 8th, Sunday, Maloney's.
Do you think he can? Will he be in attendance?
That's the goal.
That'd be awesome.
He's hoping
That's
to make
awesome.
it. It's looking promising. I hope he wasn't planning that to be a surprise for people, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think Rick should be able to be there. He better
That would be
there
great.
because one of the things we're going to do, we're going to auction off a box of crap. Longtime listeners to our show know that if we didn't have, how radio works, you might have a week where you're giving away tickets to a certain event or whatever. Well, we would have occasional times when the sales department failed miserably and didn't have something great for us to give away. So we would go back to our desk and collect up all the tchotchkes and weird things, spare this and that, and whatever. We'd make it into a box of crap and give it away. I wrote a song, performed it on the accordion. We had a theme song for it. And so after Rick was not able to work anymore and is no longer going to be at WAPL, his career there's over, John Jordan, another of the jocks, gathered up all the weird stuff from Rick's desk.
Love it.
They found apparently a sex toy in there even.
Oh, geez. Imagine that. Radio guy.
Brand new, not used. And it's still good. That's good. Yeah.
I know I left something where I filled it a couple
of
of
Rick's
times.
final box of crap up for auction.
There you go.
And I have it
fun.
on good authority, the authority being me, that there will be a live accompanied performance of the box of crap jingle.
Oh, that's
during
nice.
the event too.
Nice.
So,
Might want to save that one for a little later in the evening after they've had a few
They're a little
cocktails.
lubricated.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That's a good
Lenny,
idea.
looking back in your
This is
career
so
with,
nice.
with him, though, we all go through highs and lows and whatever. But how do you sum it up, the run that you guys had?
Boy, I don't know. I think to a great degree, if you look at it from the 10,000-foot level and look at it, I think the Rick and Len show kind of changed the radio landscape a little bit. We weren't shock jocks, necessarily, but a little bit different than what this market had before. A couple of idiots being idiots, unlike you guys who are total professionals.
No idiots here.
But I think we kind of we were a little edgy, or at least edgier than most people. Not compared to, like I said, to the crazy shock jocks you hear these days. But
you're right. You were the first ones to color outside the lines a little bit.
I think that's true.
That would be true.
We weren't as careful as some.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is when you guys auctioned off Tom Mahoney's toupee.
Oh yeah, that was fun. The touch Tom's stoop tour.
I could not believe you guys had the balls to do that. Yeah. Really, wow, this is so cool.
The story behind that, Tom Mahoney, the longtime meteorologist at Channel 5. You worked with Tom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great guy. And he was our meteorologist too. And they did some studies. Tom would wear a toupee, and it was stupid. All right?
Obvious, totally right.
It really was.
Right.
And because consultants said, well, you're going to have a bald weather guy or whatever. Now, half the weather guys are bald.
Right.
But so they decided he was going to stop wearing it on the air. We asked him if we could have it. Have the toupee. We had a plexiglass case made for it with a hole in it.
No way.
Took it on tour. We did our show once a week for like a month and a half. We'd go to different locations and bars at 6 a.m, and people would show up and reach in there and touch Tom's toupee. We had tour jackets made for it. It was crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Did you guys come up with all your stuff? Because when I filled in one time, and that's what got me into radio, really, because Greg Bell, I think he was the
general
station
manager
at the time. Yeah. And I was filling in for Jim Caston, who had the chicken
sports guy, right?
Sport. And I'll never forget, this was my birthday too, okay? And I was filling in with these guys, and they said, okay, because I had to come in and do a little sports update. And you said, okay, it's great. You want to be a part of our parade? I'm like, what are you talking about? So it's our St. Patrick's Day parade. I said, where? He goes, well, just hang on. So all of a sudden, I'm in the studio, and they're playing this music of cars going by, and people were believed we were out someplace on the street having a parade. Remember that?
The Menasha St. Patrick's Day Parade. We did it for years and years and years every year.
And people are like, I'm trying to find you guys. Where are you?
You're in the studio. That's funny.
We had and the music, for me, I was running like 5 different. We call them pots.
Sound effects,
sliders, the sound effects. Put it close.
There'd be like a marching band,
and the drum and fife band.
Yes.
Was always all the same band. We had 40 different bands with different names, but it was all the same music.
But it was,
and people got fooled by it. A guy got fired from his job because he used it as an excuse. Said he got caught up in parade traffic on his way to work.
That's classic.
The mayor of Menasha at the time, Joe Laux, called Greg Bell, our station manager, and he was irate because we didn't have a parade permit. We hadn't taken out a parade permit.
Joe.
Joe was a great guy, but he got fooled on that one.
That was classic. That's when I thought, okay, these guys are different in a good way.
Rick is a genius. All right. He's a comedy genius. Should have been writing for David Letterman or one of the late night TV shows. A lot of people think that we just stole our stuff from that, but no. Rick would tell the joke in the morning that you would hear that night on the late night talk shows because he was that good. So it was original. We didn't use comedy services like a lot of radio shows do. That write the jokes for you and stuff. No, it was
Did
all
you write
us.
one time about Tammy's tush? Something about Tammy's tush.
We used to make fun of Tammy Elliott.
Yeah,
at Channel 5 because she's diminutive.
Yeah,
nice way to put it. Really
Didn't
short.
you guys want to auction off the phone book she used to sit on or something?
We might have.
Oh my gosh!
God,
I'm just being honest.
I love this stuff.
Yeah, this is good.
And the funny thing is, you go, oh, you're making fun of Tammy Elliott. Yeah, well, she came and worked with us later too. She was on the show every day.
Well, Len, give it one more time as far as who, what, when, where.
7 bands, 2 stages, nonstop music. Sunday, September 8th at Maloney's in Kaukauna. It's the Rock for Rick benefit concert. It's a $20 entry donation at the door. It's a 21 and over event at Maloney's. We've got the Glam Band, the Cool Waters Band, Boxcar, A-Town Unplugged, Weld Hamburger, Infrared, Audio Chonk, support from Cool City Sound, Rad Audio, Instaprints, a ton of people. It's going to be a great day. We're going to raise money and help Rick get back on his feet.
Quick thing. First time I ever talked to you was when you guys did a survey. Was John Maino trying to grow a mustache while I was doing sports? I still remember that. Like 1989.
A long time ago, buddy.
Long time. Great seeing you, Len.
Thanks for having me on,
We
guys.
will be there.
Jim, John,
This is
appreciate
great. Got it.
You bet.
All our best, Rick. Hang in there, buddy. Back after this.
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW. This is your local civic media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
Imagine being able to detect pests on your crops simply by listening to them eat. This groundbreaking concept has become a reality with the introduction of the insect eavesdropper, a tool designed to transform pest management in agriculture. And UW entomology professor Emily Bick is the co-founder, and she says that by harnessing the power of sound, this sensor offers farmers a new way to detect and monitor insect pests directly on their crops.
Now, to figure out if you have corn rootworm in your field, you have to dig the plant, right? Especially the larval stage, which is doing the vast majority of the damage. You dig the plant, you either put it in a bucket, you put it in a malaise trap, you wait till the larva kind of hatches out, dries out, and then you can start to count it, and you can actually tell what that damage is. But this type of sensor allows for that direct detection. So without having to bring your machete or butcher's knife to a cornfield to split a stalk of corn or try to open a cob of corn to see if you have a corn earworm, you could just simply listen.
That's UW entomology professor Emily Bick along with us. I'll have a look at your morning markets right after this.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
Rural Mutual is the #1 farm insurer in Wisconsin for a good reason. As a company founded by farmers, they understand the ag industry and its challenges. Local agents offer farm families the best advice and personalized coverage. Visit ruralmutual.com to find an agent near you.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
Wisconsin Farm Bureau is the trusted voice leading agriculture forward. Through the efforts of farmers, supported by organizations like Farm Bureau, agriculture continues to sustainably advance, meeting the needs of today while addressing the challenges that come with feeding a growing population. By providing resources, training, and advocacy, Farm Bureau empowers farmers to embrace sustainable solutions for a stronger tomorrow.
A voice for farmers, a vision for agriculture. Wisconsin Farm Bureau.
I'm Charity Seebecker for the Midwest Farm Report with a look at your morning markets. Cash corn is trading at $3.66 1/4, down a penny. New crop corn is trading at $3.91 1/4, down 1.5 cents. Cash beans are trading at $9.63 1/2, down 4 cents. And new crop beans are trading at $9.82 1/4, down 4 1/4. And wheat is trading at $5.06 3/4, down 1.5 cents. September Class 3 milk contract is trading at $22.57 a hundredweight. That's down a penny. And October milk is trading at $22.74 a hundredweight, and that is down 9 cents. Barrel cheese closed yesterday with no change and closed at $2.25. 40-pound block cheese also had no change and closed yesterday at $2.14. And the double A butter closed up 2 1/4 cents yesterday and closed at $3.19 3/4. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Charity Seebecker.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
Mostly cloudy this morning with a little more sunshine by later this afternoon. Our high today 74. The wind out of the northeast at 5 to 15. Tonight 61. Tomorrow partly cloudy 79 with rain and thunderstorms tomorrow night. Could be some heavy rain too with a half inch or more possible. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 66.
During life's most trying times, it helps to have someone with experience and understanding at your side. Ryan Funeral Home and Crematory has attentive staff in De Pere, available 24 hours a day, and nearly 100 years of business experience, which can provide comfort during those difficult times. Call them at 920-336-3171 or visit them at ryanfh.com. Ryan Funeral Home and Crematory, local people serving local families since 1926.
At Fleet Farm, we know every opening day doesn't begin and end with us. But if it did, we've got you covered. Everyday hunting gear from Winchester, Remington, and Bear. Everyday fishing gear from Daiwa, St. Croix, and Rapala. everyday yard cleanup from Scott's, Fisker's, and AgriFab. Whatever makes your day, we're right there with you. At Fleet Farm, we've got everything you need for everyday life.
From I-43 to I-41. This is the talk of Green Bay. Miss part of the show or want to share it with a friend? Check out the Maino and the Mayor podcast at civicmedia.us and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Take Maino and the Mayor with you everywhere. Now, once again, Maino and the Mayor, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, thank you very much. Welcome back. Maino and the Mayor here on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Special thanks to Len Nelson coming up, talking about the fundraiser for Rick McNeil. Amazing 7 bands, including the glam band to finish it off.
Right.
And unbelievable auction items.
That's going to be a great event. Kicks off at noon.
Yeah.
September 8th. Right, because the Packers play Friday night in Brazil, and then the Saturday we've got nothing to do. So
Absolutely.
We'll celebrate the victory and support that event.
For all the entertainment he brought us for all those years, and everybody chance to give back. Joined right now by Benediana, Mount Carmel Bay Area Realty. How are you guys doing?
Good, we're doing good. We actually started our morning with your show.
Yeah. Oh, did you really?
We were watching it live.
Listening.
Honestly, for the first time ever, and this is kind of embarrassing.
First time you've ever listened to our
No,
show?
no, no,
Oh,
no,
my
no.
God, that hurts.
That's out of the bag.
Hey, Ben, control your people.
Yeah,
Two things.
14 months. Thanks for tuning in.
I did not realize that if you just clicked on your little icon
Yes.
on Facebook, it got you right to the live.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
it's circled in red, so I should have figured that out a long time ago.
Todd, how come you've never mentioned that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Todd?
To everyone out there.
He mentions it every other day. Every day. So.
Every hour.
Every hour, I should say. Yeah, not
Clearly
every
hour of every day.
Clearly, I was not listening.
Yeah.
But the other thing, too, I realized, because I can see this screen.
Yes.
But when you watch it, you can see Todd's reactions to things. And we walked away last week saying, it would be so funny if people could see what Todd's doing in there to some of your comments.
And you could just see that, Schmidt's in trouble.
Because there's times where it'd be like, shut up. What are you talking about?
Do you see that? Do you see him pointing at the chair when I'm not in my chair?
Absolutely.
That happened yesterday.
So the live version's super cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And it's so nice that we've had you on here to talk about housing and what's going on here, but your industry is going through some changes, and I think people need to connect with someone who knows the industry, because there's a lot of newbies that come out and
the national news has taken real estate as one of their things where almost every other day they're going to do some story on real estate.
Correct.
Sometimes it's the sky is falling. 2 days later, great news. But that's like a big topic these days.
It should be, because that affects a lot of people. It's not like sometimes you talk about this high tech or what's going on in space, and look, we all care about that. But
how about those two people?
I know.
You imagine if they don't get along?
You'll be gone for 8 days.
Have you heard about them?
No.
Okay, get this. This is our great NASA. It's really not NASA's fault. It's more Boeing's fault. But they take these astronauts and they send them to the space station. And the space station is it's like 4-bedroom house.
It's a long ways.
It's a long ways. It's a long ways.
It's a
for
distance.
8 days. For an 8-day cruise. So 8 days, they're coming back in February. Because Boeing, in their wisdom, they're worried about the coming back into orbit that it may not make it. So they're like, we don't want to risk it. We're going to bring it back, but we don't want it to be manned, or not manned, but whatever person. It's a man and a woman. So you're going to be up there. You told, honey, I'll be back in 8 days. February. February, they're coming back. And Elon Musk is sending his spaceship to get them.
Jeepers.
And it's just it's like almost like a sci-fi thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just but they said the people, it was like kind of their decision a little bit too.
Yeah.
But I would be like, no way.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the one testing
They're gonna miss the Super Bowl. They're gonna
But
miss
can you imagine
Christmas.
if they have like guys and women have disagreements at times?
Right.
Oh,
Can you
yeah.
imagine being locked in this little capsule with this person that you're having a fight with?
It's not the little. It's bigger.
I know, but you
go to your own room.
can't go any place.
No, you're right. I just think the whole mental thing is, wait, will I ever go home? That would be like they said. They're talking about I think the guy on TV said, he goes, stop complaining about missing your flight.
Yeah,
you're gonna get home in a couple days or a day, but I mean, think about that.
Yeah, I couldn't
February and February's a long. It's going to be here before you know. But on the other hand, it's a long ways away.
Yeah.
The kids. I don't know if they have kids. I didn't read enough about it, but yeah.
It's a couple that are going.
No.
It's just a guy and a woman.
It's not a couple.
They're not related.
No.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, I don't know.
Astronauts.
Well, it's like a zoo. You put a male and a female together.
Hey,
let's say it's just going to happen.
Absolutely.
It's
They're
just
gonna
going to
come back
happen.
engaged.
She's come back pregnant.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wow.
Anyway,
Is there enough Tang and frozen astronaut ice cream?
Hey, I still drink Tang every day.
Do you really?
Do you really?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. So I'm kind of cheap. Okay.
We got Tang, we got Spam.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I have them together.
No
No question.
just to Janet, just to underscore that, I bought at the dollar store.
Yeah.
Okay, true. But here's the deal. Okay, you can go buy a bottle of flavored water, $3.
Yeah.
You can go buy one of these little things of Tang for $3. You get at least 10 bottles of flavored water from that one.
You've run
And
the
I just-
numbers. You've run
You
the
run
numbers.
Yeah.
And you drink the, Italian sparkling. I use tap water. Tap water and Tang.
Wow.
And
we
Spam.
go.
Do they have other flavors now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Strawberry, banana, and
Okay.
there's a lot of really good flavors.
Sure.
But I love the Tang.
The original? Is it orange?
Yeah.
It's like
And the little
orange.
bottle was
Orange-ish.
$6.
Yeah.
No, it's 2 for $6.
Where?
Two for festival. 2 for $6.
Wow.
Oh, that's not what I. Okay, wow.
I'll show you. I'll
be
buy
right back.
you a bottle.
Okay.
I will buy you a bottle. It's delicious.
He'll give me the free one.
And I brought it up to my brother's store, Deer
Sorry.
Camp, and he's like, "What?" I said, "He says, is that the old Tang?" He says, "They still make that?" And I gave him some. He's like, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable! Brings back such great memories and the whole thing." So
It's just the concentrate that they're selling now instead of making these big
Yeah.
bottles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It does taste good. He didn't tell the whole story on that. He really likes it with vodka.
Yeah,
he's been at my house, and I had to go find the stuff. So yeah,
What is that? Orange juice and vodka. What is that called?
Well, no, it's a screwdriver, but no,
Yeah,
this
okay, there you
isn't
go.
orange juice. This is
Okay.
really just
Tang. But orange flavor, right?
It tastes like orange flavored
Orange
vodka.
flavor.
It's just, all it is gin with a few drops of that in, or vodka, I should say. So I'm a gin,
Oh, I get it. He skips. Yeah.
He
just-
skips.
Okay, there we
he
go.
skips the
There we
salsa.
go.
I'm still getting my vitamin C.
I don't know. I'm gonna have
Prevent
to
the
read the back.
scurvy in space.
Yes.
So anyway,
Thank you.
besides the two astronauts stranded, there's
Yeah.
other news. Is they talk about real estate now because it's so.
You always get us distracted.
I saw your show this morning. I don't think it's us.
We'd never take you off course. But there's so much going on, and I think I'll give the media credit for talking about that. And it's even some of the headlines in the Times and even here locally is that, major changes in the last, 40 years of real estate. And you're handling that. You're way ahead of the curve. But tell us a little bit more about what you're hearing and how things are a little bit different for the consumer and why they should go with someone like, your company to that they go with Bay Area because, what's going on.
Yeah. I will preface first, I don't ever watch the news anymore, so I don't really know. I mean, I go and I look at like market reports and things like that, but so I don't really know what they're saying. But
well, that's obvious if you don't know the astronauts are stranded.
I should admit that.
You
I
could tell us
understand
that. Yeah. Did you know Biden dropped out?
Yeah.
That I do know.
Actually, I'm the one who usually tells her the news. I should start a fake narrative. Just see if
He usually starts with, "You're going to see this on Facebook, so let me explain what's going on." But, a lot of what has been in the media, and I'm not going to say that it's incorrect, but I think for Wisconsin, it's not correct.
Okay.
So, there's a lot that we've done here. For us, it's not major changes, honestly. So, because we have such a great Realtors Association, and we have been, so much of what has been changing has been part of our contracts anyway from the get-go, it isn't huge changes for us. So, it's kind of explaining a little bit of what the change is. For us, the two major things are, we talked about it last time, we need a signed agreement to show them a house now. So we can't just show houses without some sort of signed document. And that can be something as simple as a showing agreement. Just saying, "Hey, I want you to show me this house, open doors for me." We need something that has your signature on it as a buyer that you want us to show
Can I
that
ask
house
this?
to them.
Does that lock them in if they buy that house? Okay.
Nope. There's
Gone are the days, though, of just saying, "Honey, let's go kill some time and house shop."
Right.
Well, you can go to open houses like that, and you can. The pre-agency agreement that we have, showing agreement in the state of Wisconsin, is almost like that. You sign it once with any realtor that you're going to work with. If you're going to switch and work with a different realtor, you're going to have to sign it again.
Right.
But it's basically kind of that dating. Like we're just dating. We don't know if we want to work together yet, but let's see if this is a good fit.
Can't go without a date.
You need a couple dates for sure to know if you're. And
I
then,
hated those parties.
and then
I bet the ladies did too.
Yeah.
Can I work the door?
Can I work the door?
Deanna was the first person who signed my agreement.
There you go.
You know, so that's
okay.
We're not even going to go there. It's too early.
That's the biggest change the consumer's going to see is that even when you start looking, you need to align yourself with a
You
realtor.
do. And you don't, it doesn't have to be a permanent thing, but
Right.
you have to sign something.
Sure.
No realtor can bring you in a home without some sort of signed agreement. And it can be as simple as a showing agreement. And basically that's, like I said, kind of the dating. And then when you want to write, we have to determine what relationship we're going to
Right.
be. Are you going to be my client or are you going to be my customer? And they're very different in the field of real estate.
Well,
as
you brought
guys
up
know.
something last time when we talked about this, that you have to get across to people, because like when I got into real estate, I didn't know much about buyer agency.
Sure.
I didn't know anything about that. But the number one thing that you have to explain to people is, if you don't have that, you're working for the seller.
Yep.
correct.
Do you know what I mean? They have
Yes.
to understand
Yes.
that.
Yeah. You know, we still, as if they're our customer, we're working our client. Our client technically is the seller,
Exactly.
unless they sign that agreement. So we have to be very impartial. We can, you know, we can't really guide them, but we can write what they want written. But we can't really give them maybe our opinion or, you know, some insight. We have to really be careful where we step. We still have to be honest. We have to, if we know major defects in the house, we have to let them know. So we owe them all of that, our honesty and you know, ethical treatment and integrity and stuff. But
And I think we tell them that, but they don't always hear it. And that's
Yeah.
why I think they really wanted this reduced to writing, which is fine. But, I mean, I don't know, it's a big expense, but so are cars. But the car's working for the guy selling you the car's working for the seller. I mean, you don't have a buyer.
Well, that's just it.
But it's more obvious than it is when it comes to real estate, because they think, oh, you're trying to help me out. But the change in that's one thing. The other thing I think that people should know is that I know there's you can set your commission wherever you want, but as a general rule, it's about 6%.
Yeah,
about
give or take.
I mean, it can be 5, 4, it can be 6.
Yep.
But I just wanted to. The point I want to make is that, and that was traditionally just paid by the seller.
Yep.
And now the buyer is going to negotiate what he's going to pay his buyer. Is that? I mean,
yes
you tell
and
me.
no.
I mean,
yes and no. And I think this is where some of the media gets a little bit confusing.
Correct.
Is that commission has always been negotiable. Now, firms can set their commission on the lowest that they're going to take, you know, and they can say, hey, this is as low as we're going to go. If you don't want to use me because of that, you know, you're welcome to shop around. So firms can set their commission on what their agents are going to be able to offer or reduce it to. But then there's a lot of choices on how that buyer agent is going to get paid. So it can be paid listing firm to buying firm, which is how it's traditionally been done. And that's written into the listing contract.
Right.
So now the seller needs to approve that. Before we used to say, okay, you're paying us, let's say 5%. That's what we negotiated. We as listing agents, we're going to give 2% of that to the buyer's agent.
Right.
Now the seller needs to approve that, and they can say, nope, I don't want any of that given to the buyer agent. They can negotiate their own commission. So there's still that listing firm to buying firm, which it has always been traditionally in our area in the past, and it really still is. It's really staying standard that way. And the reason being is, if we do not offer what we call co-broke in part of the listing contract, there are certain buyers that are not going to probably be able to see your home. And so it's kind of like fishing without a lure or a bait. So there are customers out there that are working in a customer relationship that are not going to be able to see your home because that agent is working for the seller. They can't negotiate their commission in the listing, in the offer to purchase. So because they can't negotiate against the seller. So there's certain customers that are going to say, I don't want to see anything where there isn't firm to firm compensation.
Let's say I just go with the buyer agency. I want someone to help me buy a house, period.
Yep.
And so that is the seller going to stay at 5? Like, tell me how that works. I'm just curious on that because it traditionally has been 5%, and the split's been whatever is negotiated.
6 actually.
Well, I should say 6, but
Yeah.
I work for a firm where it's like, I'm like, well, it's competitive. We got to go down to 5. They're like, go ahead, you can go down as low as you want. It just comes out of your commission.
Absolutely.
You're still paying us the same.
Right.
Yeah.
And I actually had somebody not complain, but they said, wow, I can't believe all these closing costs, how much it was, and yada, yada, yada. I thought we were getting a deal. And I broke it down. I said, I saved you $1,252.39.
Yeah.
I still remember that. And that came out of my check.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But this, I want to talk about the person who wants to buy a home.
Yeah. So when you sign that buyer agency agreement, Are we done?
Well, no, we're going to stick around. Instead of a quick break, we'll finish this up. Ben and Jen.
Father wears his Sunday best. Mother's tired, she needs a rest. The kids are playing up downstairs. Sister's sighing in her sleep. Brother's got a date to keep, he can't hang around.
Listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Todd Allball Show.
Most of us can agree everyone deserves the right to make their own medical decisions. Politicians should have no say at all. Thankfully, we have leaders like Vice President Kamala Harris who are standing up for our rights to make our own medical decisions and protect abortion rights. As Vice President, Kamala Harris helped lead the administration's efforts to protect abortion rights after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Vice President Harris has worked to defend access to emergency medical care and support the ability to travel for reproductive care. She's fought for access to high-quality, affordable contraception and strengthened reproductive health privacy. Vice President Harris has defended our rights and freedoms against right-wing extremists who want the government to make medical decisions for us. She's a champion for our rights. Visit www.abwt.org/Kamala and tell Vice President Harris, keep fighting for our freedom to make our own medical decisions. Paid for by A Better Wisconsin Together, Inc.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house.
That's awesome.
In the middle of
Yeah, this is so interesting. We're talking with Dan and Ben Melkor about real estate, and these people are they're from our community, and I think it's really important that you choose a realtor who grew up in your community, because you guys know look a little bit more. They talk about their house, they talk about it, but you really know the neighborhoods, the infrastructure, kind of the buzz of what's going on. But what we were talking about before we went to break was things are changing in real estate for the better. I mean, it's just really more transparency. Nothing's really changing big time. It's just like, well, now we know. And
we got to explain things a little bit more.
Right. And with the big thing was the whole buyer agency, which I don't know how John passed his test, but
I don't either. I sweated that out.
Oh my God.
Kidding.
Yeah, you just go up there and you're like, please, please.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you your score. You just know if you passed or failed.
Exactly.
Which I know what, for the broker's test, which I thought was a little harder.
Yeah, probably.
And I just, you get there, and when if you don't know the first two or three, it's like, uh-oh.
I know.
But then, I got to get into my groove later, but
yeah,
I think I passed by one. I don't know, but the guy just said, you passed, congratulations, and you walk out. Anyway,
well, you overthink everything.
You do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you overthink
and they word the questions very true.
Yeah,
yes,
try to trip you up.
No matter how much you study and you think, I got this, they'll ask that in a different way where you're not sure what they're asking.
Well, and it's like, and then it's multiple choice. So is it A, is it A and
so
C,
close.
is it all of the above? Yeah.
But it's pretty easy on those tests to get it down to 2. Sure. But then, it could be a word here.
I know.
Sweating it out.
Yeah,
and it's like,
it's tough.
Anyway, but on the buyer agency, so people, I mean, they'll come to you if they want to sell their house or buy their house.
Yep.
And you can do both.
Yep, you absolutely can.
As a realtor.
Yep, you can.
That's the golden ticket there.
One has to be your client and one has to be your customer.
I understand that.
Yep.
And but people who think they have to have 2 different realtors, that's not the case. I mean,
it's not the case. I will be honest and say that it is the best thing for the buyer to have their own agent working for them.
It is.
Now, I understand the convenience of it. So a lot of times the listing agent knows so much about that house and it just seems more convenient to work with them. And that's great. We'll never turn that away, obviously. But at the end of the day, for the buyers, it really is in your best interest to have a buyer agency signed with your own agent because they're working for you. They're negotiating on your behalf.
And they're only getting a check if they succeed with you.
Yep.
Correct.
And so it also, when you have a buyer agency signed, there's many ways for a buyer agent to get paid. So they can still get that listing firm to buyer's firm. Mm-hmm. They can have the seller pay the buyer's firm. The buyer can get concessions from the seller that they can then then in turn pay their agent.
Sure.
Or the buyer can pay their agent directly, or any combination of them. So because nobody's going to work for free, unfortunately, you know. So and we're not expected to either.
Well,
so
you do though sometimes.
You know what?
It feels like that. It feels like that.
To keep deals together, sometimes you do. You really do. And I don't think people understand what happens sometimes in these transactions when we can't come to terms. A lot of times the agents, they meet up and say, what can we do? And, you know, I think people see that big check and realize they think that all goes to us, when in reality it's split up in many different ways. But yeah, at the end of the day, we don't have to work for free. Nobody wants to work for free, but there's no guarantee that we're going to get paid, you know, until closing, because deals can fall apart day of closing.
Do you think real estate, like in some other, especially Europe, they go to this whole a la carte thing where we'll charge so much for an open house, we'll charge so much for this. Are we going to get to that, or are we just going to have the buyer agent and the seller agent?
I hope not. I don't know. Yeah. You know, I think we are in a very, and I say this in a very good way, and non-political, but a very conservative area. And I think, you know, the people that live in Northeast Wisconsin can look at things as a whole and see the benefits and not start to get ticky-tacky with stuff, because when you do that, it becomes a mess. And I really hope we don't get there. I think some of the country is, honestly. Yeah, but I hope that we don't, because it's not going to be in anybody's best interest.
No. All right. So the best thing to do is, if we're thinking of selling our house, contact you. We're thinking of buying our house, contact you. But you're okay if they just contact you for one or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. And it, you know, again, we'll never turn it away. But at the end of the day, it is best to have your own agent working for you.
See, that's pretty cool that you're saying that, because I'm not sure that was said a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to turn away money,
I think
but
that's part of the transparency we're looking for in this whole.
It is in your best interest to
Right.
have your own agent.
I would agree with that. And anyway.
And it doesn't give the client that doubt in their mind as to, okay, am I really getting the best deal in that house?
Right. Yeah.
Since she's also the agent for the house, the seller.
Exactly.
There's always that little bit of doubt.
Yeah.
Because
And
you know what people are really great at when it comes to buying or selling their house? Listening to their friends.
Or
because their friends are the experts.
Exactly.
I bought a house.
Yeah. We have a lot of fathers that come along that,
Yep.
And God bless them. They just want to look out for their kids.
They just want to look out for their kids.
Right.
But you know, your dad's not a state licensed inspector, and that's the one that probably comes up the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, you know, I'm not the guy to bring along when my kids bought their homes, because, like I told you, I'm the guy that, you know, paid more for his last car than my first house. So I just can't believe there's no way they can get it for that. Well, they're going to get it, and I don't want to be part of that. You know what I mean? It's a different world.
Was that a brag over how much he paid for his Beamer?
No, it was a brag. It was a brag about. It was a brag about how.
I feel like there should be a date.
That was a subtle little.
It was worked in there.
It was worked in. Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
If you would please,
if you would please,
in there. No, was that the transparent? It would show you how conservative I was when I bought my first house.
As soon as he starts saying you know he's trying to weasel his way out of something.
All right,
they have, what is they called? A sign or a give, or when people notice like in poker, they have those certain signs.
Yeah.
Bay Area Realty, you guys are the ones to go to. Don't listen to me. Tell us what's going on.
More truer words have never been spoken. Yep.
I still got my license.
I was thinking about getting mine renewed.
Yeah, I
I
think
was thinking about getting mine renewed.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'll show
Yeah.
houses for you.
Yeah.
You know
Absolutely.
what?
And I'll be your sign guy.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
Here we
you,
go.
You can get referrals.
Yes.
So you can pass on
That-
and get your a referral fee
Yep.
for it. So it's a good thing to have. I do want to mention we have a new
Yeah,
listing
I was
coming
just
up.
going to say we got one coming up.
Yep, in Appleton. So it's going to be hitting on Friday, and I think it's going to be priced somewhere. It's under $300. I think.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, just under, I believe.
4-bedroom.
Whoa.
Yeah. Just an adorable
That's
home.
going to go quick.
I'm going to renew my license, and we have to do it this year, Johnny.
Yeah, you do.
Let's buy that house, and we'll use that as our Packer house.
No,
here it is.
I want to get a license. I'm going to get my license because I've got some of my friends. If they just say, "Look, I'd like to buy this house," I'd like to be the buyer's agent and negotiate a good deal for them. And I think I could get them a good deal. And
Could I be your sign guy? Good sign guy. Although I've snapped a couple off in the winter when you're trying to take them out.
Yeah.
Isn't that the worst?
Brutal.
How do you think you two would do up in space?
terrible.
Great. Ben and Deanna Melker. One would come back alive. There you go. Must have had a heart attack. Ben and Deanna Malcor, Bay Area Realty. Tell everybody where you are.
Berkshire Hathaway, Bay Area, right on the corner of Walnut and Broadway.
Yes.
You guys are awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Nice to have you in Green Bay.
Back right after this.
Listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Matt Nair on Air.
Todd Albaugh.
Hey, everybody, join us next time for a Hump Day edition. Pat Kreitlow of Up North News, Trigby Olson of the Lincoln Project, and much more. Be here.
Hump Day. The Todd Albaugh Show. Weekdays noon till 2.
Register today for the 15th annual RX Link Golf Classic in support of Naranon at Thornberry Creek at Oneida. It's Friday, August 30th and starts with registration and breakfast at 9 a.m., followed by a shotgun start at 10. Happy hour starts at 4 p.m., followed by the awards dinner and silent auction. Proceeds support Naranon, a 12-step program for families and friends of addicts. Advanced registration is suggested and simple. Just call Thornberry Creek at Oneida, 920-434-7501, or search for RX Link Golf online. See you August 30th.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app. You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay. WGBW 1590 AM Denmark, W250 CV Green Bay, and always streaming on the Civic Media app.
ABC News, I'm Sherry. Preston, Israeli forces conducting one of the largest raids in decades in the occupied West Bank. In Tel Aviv, ABC's Britt Clement.
At least 11 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli forces in the north of the West Bank in the biggest raid in years. Troops surrounding a main hospital in Jenin. Videos showing bulldozers tearing through streets, water gushing down a road after the destruction of a main water line. The IDF says its forces are carrying out a counter-terrorism operation in Jenin and Tulkarm.
Special counsel Jack Smith filing a superseding indictment in Donald Trump's January 6th election interference case. The streamlined charges were designed to focus on Trump's time as a candidate, not president, following the Supreme Court's presidential immunity ruling. The Surgeon General has released a new advisory today on parenting and stress. It says financial worries, concern about health and well-being of their kids, and the dangers of social media are weighing on parents' minds. Almost half say they're stressed most days. This is ABC News.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News, your news roundup in quick podcast form. You can find it anywhere at the WGBW website, WGBW.fm.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. COVID-19 testing levels in Wisconsin are higher now than they've been since February. The surge is happening at the same time as the start of the school year. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services tests wastewater for COVID levels. The biggest spike appears to be happening in northeast Wisconsin. Janesville officials are applying for a federal grant to repurpose the site of the old General Motors plant. Economic Development Director Jim C. Kuborn says it could be a boost to the surrounding neighborhood.
We've got trees growing up in the middle of the asphalt and fences falling over. And so go in and create a green opportunity, a green field for new development and new opportunity.
3 public meetings on Janesville's grant application start next month. $20 million is available to cities nationwide. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home. This is news from WISS and WGBW. Parts of northeast Wisconsin are cleaning up after strong thunderstorms made their way through the area yesterday. Most of the damage was done to trees. There was some hail with the strongest storms. Wind speeds got as high as 65 miles an hour on the ground in Kewanee. The storms also brought lightning and as much as 1.5 inches of rain. There are a few reports of hail. With the strongest storms, tens of thousands of homes and businesses lost power for a time. Republican Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance will talk about the economy, inflation, and energy when he campaigns in De Pere tonight. The presidential election is less than 70 days away. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren spent Monday and Tuesday campaigning in northeast Wisconsin for Vice President Kamala Harris. She emphasized several times how important Wisconsin will be to winning the election. And that's what you need to know. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News.
The Brewers lose in a battle of home runs. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kusko with sports. Milwaukee hit 2 home runs, but the San Francisco Giants hit 3 of their own to win 5-4 on Tuesday night, including the go-ahead shot by Mike Yastrzemski. Manager Pat Murphy says the game should be a good learning experience for the team.
It's a great learning experience for a lot of the guys, and it's tough when things don't go your way. But I love the way they competed, and if they keep competing like that, it gives us a chance in these types of games against these type pitchers.
Milwaukee was leading the NL Central by 12 games a week ago, but after losing 4 of the last 6, the Brewers' lead is down to 9 in front of the Chicago Cubs. The second of 3 games in the series against the Giants is tonight in Milwaukee. The Packers trimmed their roster down to 53 players on Tuesday. Green Bay placed running back A.J. Dillon on injured reserve in one of the moves. The Packers also kept kicker Greg Joseph over Anders Carlson, a 6th-round draft pick last year. For Civic Media Sports, I'm Jimmy Kuska.
This is your hometown radio, refreshed, keeping you informed, entertained, and connected locally across the Civic Media Network.
Mostly cloudy this morning with a little more sunshine by later this afternoon. Our high today, 74. The wind out of the northeast at 5 to 15. Tonight, 61. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 79 with rain and thunderstorms tomorrow night. Could be some heavy rain, too, with a half inch or more possible. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 66.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Iron Buffalo Saloon in Menkoville reminds us, it's been years since the September 11th attacks, which occurred on our country's soil. Let's take time to remember the many first responders and everyone who lost their lives that day. Nowhere are people more courageous, selfless, caring, or more noble than in the United States of America. This from Iron Buffalo Saloon in Menkoville, providing live music most weekends at our outdoor bandstand and bar, thanking those who risked their lives on that fateful day.
Crude and Dom.
Tune in Wednesday for the Hump Day edition of the Devil's Advocates. Crudy's taking young Crudy up to his alma mater. Dom's flying solo. You got to help him out. Call the Devils.
The Devil's Advocates. Weekdays 4 till 6. You're listening to the
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor. And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, thank you very much. Welcome back. Maino the Mayor here on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Special thanks to Ben and Deanna Malcor, Bay Area Realty. You know, you and I were both talking about getting her license again. Wouldn't you love it if Deanna taught the class?
Yeah. I mean, she knows what she's talking about, and she's so easy to listen to, and confident.
And personable, and
I think,
the whole thing.
Well, we renew our license in realtors, and a reminder for you realtors out there, every 2 years you got to renew your license. So you got till December, but I think we're going to do that.
Grace, you
next
looking
month.
for a place we can help you out with?
Ooh, not right now.
Okay,
Still
well,
renting.
okay, that's enough for you, Grace.
And if you ever want to sell
Lisa?
the Croc Center, let us know.
Lisa, you looking to sell your house in Howard?
Nope, not
okay,
yet.
all right, thanks. Well,
right,
okay,
well.
let's move on.
Okay.
Lisa Prunty, Simple Life Hospitality. She does the marketing and PR. How much fun was that yesterday?
Yeah, and Lisa put on this great event yesterday. There's a house that Simple Life Hospitalities manages, and it's right on True Lane. You can see
2014 and 2016.
It's right in the shadows of Lambeau Field, and they manage that. And the people.
And when you say that, we're not kidding. The sun was coming up over the rim of Lambeau Field and reflecting right into the window where we were sitting.
Yeah, and
It was beautiful.
And the people who own the home stopped in as well, and they just love Simple Life Hospitality. They're like, you guys you're doing it right. You're getting the right tenants. It's not, you do the background checks, the security, and everything else, and get them top dollar.
And we're going to have a guy on. We're talking down in Sheboygan Falls that made national news. An Airbnb, 2 drunk guys destroyed it.
Yeah,
intentionally
the place. Destroyed it.
Yeah,
Which is sad.
It is, and had they gone with you, that wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
That's
But and you have over 100 homes that you manage, and you're going to have 101 pretty soon, as they get my license. But I just think it's great that people can use that. And you're providing a great service to this community because we don't want to happen what happened to those guys in Sheboygan. And I think people, the other thing, you were there pretty much all day yesterday, but the fines, if you don't follow the rules, are $2,500.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. And to make the investment up front with either a company such as Simple Life or another company, but to protect yourself and to just protect the area that you live in, it's a bonus.
And then the inspector said, too, that there's got to be someone within 30 minutes of your property just in case
I have
something
volunteered
happens.
to be that guy.
Yeah, but they need somebody who's knowledgeable within 30 minutes of your property. And, we might be gone. So, I mean, Simple Life's going to check that box for us, too. So, anyway, thanks for bringing that
You're going to have to get somebody, right? Aren't you staying in?
They do it. Simple
No,
Life.
I know. But I mean, that's what I mean. You're not going to be within 30 minutes.
No.
But the same Simple Life team will be within 30 minutes. There'll be several of us working and making sure that everything's taken care of. But first of all, thanks for yesterday.
Yeah,
and
fun.
It's not only me; it's a team. It takes a team to put on what we did yesterday. A lot of moving parts, a lot of moving people through the door, and even preparing for the week before. So it's a team effort by everybody. So thanks to the Simple Life team and to Todd and all of you guys too. It's great.
Todd did
a lot
do
of fun.
anything?
No,
I mean,
is he there?
I don't even know. Was he there? I don't know. So anyway, we're going to give away some stuff. We had some drawings.
Yes.
So go ahead and take it from there.
So we have a Hy-Vee $200 gift card for the meat department. I believe that's what it says.
Nice.
And that is going to Kathy Teelot.
I hope
And
it's me.
no, sorry, Jim. Kathy Teelot was walking through our home yesterday, and she is going to be potentially renting her home in Brussels for the draft.
All right,
Outstanding.
Kathy.
Super sweet lady.
How did it turn out for you guys as far as getting new clients?
It worked really well. Between 4 and 6, they were quite busy. We were a little worried after the storm, but we did have people come. People are interested. They want to know. They want to know the good, bad, and ugly.
Great.
So that was great.
All right, Kathy,
and then
congrats.
we have the $50 gift card from Circle K
She
and
was
some
great.
goodies. And that went to Faylene Van.
Okay.
And she's also looking at renting out her home, and she's in De Pere. Sounds like a
That's Brussels, De
3-bedroom.
Pere. All right,
yeah.
we're gonna go.
So
Getting out there.
still
We like
in
that.
distance.
Right.
And then your M&Ms
Yes.
are going to John Schwarzenbart. So John stopped in to say hi to us, and he's going to get his M&Ms.
Great.
So
Well,
thank you for having a
The
great show
M&Ms
with
you
us.
brought back from New York. We auctioned those off. We raffled them off.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm hearing about it now. Okay, how do I
Next time
give
you go
those
to New
away
York,
to my
we'll-
kids,
Yeah.
my grandkids?
Do I need to give them back to you? I can give them back to you.
That's fine. That's awesome.
Actually,
That's
what is
great.
the M&M package? I don't know what that one
It's
is.
just a thing of M&Ms.
Oh, the big, huge
and,
thing.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I know this person, so I can deliver them. I don't have to put them in the mail, and they won't melt. So.
Outstanding.
But-
Lisa, thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for what you
guys.
guys do at
Yeah.
Simple Life Hospitality. We had a great time out there.
Yeah, we did too.
And I can't wait for our next
I
remote.
can't wait for the next one.
Well, more to come on that.
All
right up
right.
your alley, smoked salmon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay,
Thanks so
thank
much.
you,
Good luck.
Lisa.
Say it, Mike.
Let's talk to Grace Hagerman from the Croc Center. Got a great event coming up, International Community Festival. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited.
Well, like I said, I did the thing with you on Channel 5 on Lisa Malik's show, and it's like, I got to get her on our radio show.
That's very kind.
Because you do a great job. Go ahead and tell us all about it.
Yeah, so our
And again, Jim and I were both there when they broke ground.
And that place is just such a service to our community. I mean, it's really a great facility and it's just top end. You just really didn't. The wood bull, just everything there is so state of the art. It's like a rich man's country club. I mean, it's just really, really a great place, and the activities you offer there. And this,
And ironically, though, it's built for disadvantaged
that's what I'm
kids
saying,
and
they're
everything.
lower
So
income.
that's the cool part of it.
It is. That's what I'm saying. They can do that International Community Festival. So it's your third year. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so our International Community Festival is really a celebration of diversity in northeastern Wisconsin. I mean, we are so lucky to live in a community where there's so many cultures represented. There's so many people that move to live here from around the world. And this is a really great time to highlight all of those different groups of people. So we have from the Belgian Heritage Center out in Luxembourg, they're coming. We also have Casa Alba, Melanie, they're coming. And so we have a whole range of things that we're offering. We have performances, we have storytelling, we have food trucks. So it's
Do you
been
have
a
a
really
Belgian
wonderful ride.
food truck?
No, not necessarily.
What would be Belgian
sorry.
food?
Pastries?
Yeah, probably. Right?
Kolachkis?
Yeah. Well, it'd be more Polish, but yeah. But you have some cooking demonstrations too, which would be cool for kids, adults.
Yep. So right now we're planning on having some of our tables are going to be offering pastries. So some of our vendors are going to be offering some free samples and showing how those processes are made, how those items are made. So yes, it's going to be really cool.
And this is kind of a festival to bring all these different entities, for lack of a better word, together, right?
Yes, cultures together. And but what's cool about this is that this is for everybody, mom, dad, kids. I mean, they can all learn something.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, on top of all the things we're offering, all of the fun activities, all the people that you can meet, all the different resources you can learn from, it's also a free day at the Croc from 1 to 5. So people can come and swim in the pool. Our gym necessarily won't be open because all the booths will be in the gym. But if you want to come work out, you can come
I told you this before. That is the greatest basketball gym in Northeast Wisconsin.
How about that water park?
Yeah,
I mean,
Wisconsin
that water
Dells worthy.
It
for
is.
Sure.
That's a great water park. And the other things, you have a lot of stuff there too. I mean, you have like you said, the gym is great, but there's other art rooms. And talk a little bit more about the facility. I don't know if everybody's been there, but I mean, your health club, and it's free that day from 1 to 5 to experience that. But if you haven't been to the Croc Center, which is very easy to find, right on Bellevue Street, right across from JBS, easy, you get plenty of parking there. Tell us a little bit more what's inside that beautiful looking building.
Yeah, so we have such a range of things that we can offer. I mean, of course, we have our health and our lifestyle side with our fitness, our gym, our pool, but then we also have a huge fine arts program where we can offer dance, we do painting, there's a whole clay studio. Music, yep, we have music labs as well. So we have piano, guitar, and right now I think we're going to be offering drums pretty soon. So we have a really huge range of programming that we can offer to both kids and adults. And then we also have our Croc Church, if that's interesting, on Sundays. We're closed on Sundays, but Croc has our church. So we have a whole range
Do
of things.
people or can't, like when I had my granddaughters a couple of weeks ago and we're looking for some things to do, can you get like day passes for the water park and things?
Oh, yeah, people do that all the time. It's really cool. So they can a lot of people do come just to get a day pass to go to the pool. So we have a range of day passes available if people want to come to the pool. People can also get them to go work out if that's something that they want to do, if they want to go play basketball in the gym. That's always an option.
And you offer some pretty competitive, very competitive memberships too, like to use your facility. And I like your treadmills. You have some of the best treadmills because you can program them for where you want to run, and to run through Italy is cool to see that, and to just different areas. I think that's pretty neat. And even and then when you're
they're hard to figure out though.
But John just he looks at a black screen. But the most of us know how to just hit 2 buttons, but it's cool because when you go up the hill, it goes up the.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. It goes with the
you didn't get the experience.
I did not get the experience.
When you go down, but it's good when you go down the hill.
Wow.
Anyway, you get a lot of cool equipment there, I guess is what I'm saying.
Thank you. Yeah. Also, we offer scholarships for people. So that's always something that people can apply to get different rates off of their membership pricing. We do family memberships. We have group memberships. Also, if you are a Corporate Connections partner, which is free for corporations to join, you get a discount on your membership there if you are part of that corporation. So like JBS is a Corporate Connections. And so a lot of their employees get discounts, which is really cool.
And I still think, I still remember this from the day of the grand opening and Joan Kroc. And the story, it's really a heartwarming type story. I mean, here she's a billionaire, however many times over, okay? And
just for the record, Kroc is McDonald's.
Yeah, the old McDonald's, yeah. Yep. But she wanted this because when she was young in San Diego, I think it was, very disadvantaged family, and all her rich friends were going to the country clubs and the whatever, and she always felt so left out that she said, if I ever have the money, I'm going to make something accessible to kids like the type of kid I was. Right. So, I mean, you talk about something from the heart.
Oh, she's
That's
great.
really quite the story.
That family.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really interesting process of what happened because there's really only like 26 of them in the country, so we're very lucky to have one within our Green Bay community. But so part of our funding comes from the Kroc Foundation, and that's how we run is McDonald's money.
Exactly.
Well, I do want to say that was very competitive to get that here.
Yes.
There was a lot of people vying for that, and I just want to give kudos to our community again. They stepped up with I think $7 million towards that, and that was a big lift just for Green Bay, but they all understood that disadvantaged kids need as much opportunity as kids that came from maybe middle class. So it was a real partnership, and I'm glad it's so successful. And this event's going to be cool for families to go to and see it all.
Yeah. I'm hoping that everyone that can come out, does come out. We have a lot of fun things.
When and where? One more time, please.
It's at the Kroc Center on Lime Kiln Road, September 28th from 1 to 5.
Yeah, Lime Kiln. I said
Well,
I was street off. I was one street off. It's Lime Kiln.
That's this weekend.
That's September 28th.
Oh, September 28th.
Yeah,
oh, okay. So, wait, today's the 28th.
We can plug this again. No, we got time.
September 28th.
Yeah, and people should talk about it. People should, and from 1 to 5, definitely. But I mean, it goes all day.
So the event itself is only from 1 to 5.
Oh, 1 to
and
5.
also that's the free time of
Right.
when people can come access
I think
it.
that's cool to try it out.
How much would for a guy like my age, how much would it be for a thing?
Well, it really would depend. I mean, a lot of insurance programs for seniors, sorry.
Seniors.
A lot of insurance programs
I wouldn't
cover
qualify,
it.
right?
Why
Grace,
did you throw that out?
I know.
Don't want to.
There's
sorry.
great, there's great programs that they offer, a variety of things, and
It's
like I
a
said,
phenomenal place.
Yeah.
I can't say a single thing again.
Yeah.
I worked out there for a while, and
one day. But anyway, yeah,
I
it
did
was
a lot more than one day.
I like your events for kids, the art and the music. I think that's
you.
cool to it. Yeah, there's a lot of places maybe to work out, but the two things I would check for kids is your pool is like the best.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
that just is like
basketball.
one
You
of the
play
best.
pickup basketball.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
That's cool.
No question. Grace, thank
thanks
you
for what
so
you're doing
very
out
much.
there,
You're doing a
Grace.
great job there.
Thank you.
Grace Hageman, Croc Center International Community Festival coming up on September 28th. We'll be back with more right after this.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home of Maino and the Mayor.
Host your private event at one of the most premier event spaces in downtown Green Bay. At Heights Pub and Parlor, we provide parties with an unforgettable experience by blending historic and modern elegance into one atmosphere. Enjoy our second-story parlor, where you'll experience superb service from a personal bartender and handcrafted meals by our kitchen. Plus, you can enjoy the third-story loft to relax and enjoy close company. Schedule your private event today, as 2024 events are filling out fast. Follow us on Facebook or head to heightsgb.com to find out how.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home.
Hey, welcome back. Maino the Mayor here on a Wednesday morning, 67 in Green Bay, 68 in Appleton, 71 in Oshkosh. Special thanks today, Len Nelson for the fundraiser for Rick McNeil, Ben and Deanna Malcor, Bay Area Realty, always fun. Lisa Prunty from Simple Life Hospitality. That's a great company if you're looking to rent out your home. Grace Hageman just now from the Croc Center International and Community Festival Day coming up. And we've got Terry Barr coming up. Slice of Wisconsin in just a few minutes. Other things that we didn't mention, Leanne Rhymes, birthday today, 42 years old. Jake Owen is 43.
I don't know either one of them.
Country.
Oh,
Leanne
nice.
Rhymes, her first hit was called Blue.
It was
back in the
huge.
day. She was 13 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they thought she was going to be like the next Loretta Lynn.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
And she did okay. Had some weird off the field, weird
behind the scenes kind of stuff.
kind of stuff. And
Like with drugs or relationships or what?
relationships.
Oh.
Yeah. Jack Black is 55. Jason Priestley is 55. Shania Twain, I've always loved Shania Twain, is 59. Scott Hamilton, the figure skater, is 66.
Shania is a little weird.
Shania's a little weird.
I remember doing a meet and greet with her, with
Really?
listeners of the station.
Where?
Toledo, Ohio.
Oh.
And she did not want to be touched. And they literally had marks on the floor so that they were a certain distance away from her. She didn't want to be anywhere.
I went to her
near
concert
that.
at the Resch, and I was talking to one of the security guys, and it was kind of one of those things where don't look at her when she walks. Like, don't go eye to eye.
Yeah.
Type
Jeez,
of thing. Yeah.
It's unfortunate they make it because there's so many people who are just really, really good people that are super talented, and then these divas make it. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Who's that lady that I met with the Dalai Lama? What's her name? She was a little bit like
Taylor
that.
Swift?
No.
Did you meet Taylor Swift?
No.
Oh.
Who was the woman that you always tell us about?
Yeah.
Let's go, girls.
I don't know now.
She's different. She dresses weird.
Oh, I know. Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Oh,
Lady Gaga.
That's right.
I mean, she was nicer. She had a little bit of an act, but she shook my kid's hand, and that's all I
that's
cared about.
cool.
I didn't want to, I didn't care less about her. I didn't know who she was till Laura pointed her out.
I still think Todd wins the award for most interesting meeting with a very famous musician.
Yeah.
Madonna.
Yeah.
She was all over him.
Yeah. It was an interesting
Funny, I missed
party.
that story.
Huh?
Oh.
You heard that story.
Oh, yeah. In
You know-
Kalamazoo?
I may have been reading.
No, this was down in Mississippi.
Oh, I thought that one was Kalamazoo for some reason.
The story changes.
Okay. Tell the story, Todd.
She had her new album Music come out in, I think, 2000. And there was a record station party.
Okay.
A record label party.
Which they used to have.
All the time.
Yeah.
These people would come to town, even like John Mayer comes to town, brand new. The record company's like, I'll take you out to dinner. And then they want you to go, okay, I'll add that record next week.
Absolutely.
Right? So
Absolutely.
that's basically what was going on here. And somebody said, well, this is Todd Michaels. He's with Y101, and they're the first station that's playing your new single.
To Madonna.
Wow. And she gestured to me. That's all I want to say. But
Okay.
there was a grabbing of me, and then,
Really, a sexual gesture to Todd Michaels from Madonna.
Yes. That sounds like Casey Kasem. And now,
sexual
my sexual dedication from Madonna to Todd Michaels.
Well, that's cool.
Todd,
I
remember
I
that
think I'm
night
assuming
in
it was
Mississippi?
I'm assuming it was positive that it was.
Well,
yeah,
funny how you look at it.
Yeah,
I was 24 years younger.
It was positive.
Absolutely.
But that's,
and did you?
that's
So
amazing.
she didn't answer your follow-up calls, or what happened? What happened? How come that? how come you were in an item?
As soon as the party was done, she was gone, and she didn't.
You know
think
what
twice.
I regret? You know what I regret? Who I could have met as I heard she's a real diva too, though. But I could have met Cher
Oh yeah.
because they wanted. Remember Dan Stone? Hey John, I can't.
When she was here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you introduce Cher? And
yeah,
it's like, and then do the meet and greet. And it's like, wow. But then I had something going on Packer-wise or whatever it was.
And that's a lot of work. People don't think
People
it
don't
is,
realize it,
but
yeah.
making sure all your people are backstage and they're behaving themselves.
Len and I could have sat here and told stories for half an hour about hosting listeners for meet and greets. And the worst part is sometimes at the last minute, hey guys, sorry, we have to cancel the meet and greet. And you've done these contests, and the listeners are so excited, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And they got their cameras ready and they're dressed like, the whole thing is, sorry, so-and-so isn't feeling well and you can't do it. And then who do they blame?
Right.
You.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we
You
did
know
that. We did that meet and greet with Coach McCarthy. With Don and I went with him and his wife to Sugarland.
Sugarland, okay.
He was a huge Sugarland, and it was.
He was a
I tell
huge
you,
country
their
fan.
dressing room was. This office is bigger than their dressing room.
Really?
Yeah. We just
At the Resch?
Yeah, we went into this. Maybe it was a different room, but anyway, we went in and I just thought, well, this is a little cozy. But yeah, and the same deal. But it was nice, and it was put on. I don't know who put it on, but those are special, and I can see somebody.
Oh, you know what?
Really
I
getting
think I
hurt
know what
if it-
room that would be because that used to when I was doing the GB basketball games. Coach Kowalczyk and I would leave the locker room and go into that room.
Yeah.
And we would do the interviews.
Yeah, because
I
it
know
was
where
right
you mean.
before they went on stage, so
Yeah.
we just talked to them. But anyway, those meet and greets those are cool, and I can see somebody being very disappointed if they're canceled.
Was that
and they
Jennifer
would blame,
Nettles? Sugarland? Was that Jennifer Nettles?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, me either. I did.
But I think he did something for the Kenny Chesney concert too. I think he walked on stage, gave him a jersey or something
Cool.
like everybody always does.
Yeah.
But you know who was a really cool guy that you think maybe wouldn't be? Was Kid Rock.
Oh yeah,
He was totally. I brought him a T-shirt that I'd gotten in Afghanistan and said something about Afghanistan rock band or something like that. He took a picture with me, did whatever. He was super cool with all the people.
Yeah.
But I hate it when people big time their fans. Especially I shouldn't even say this, but especially when they're kind of on the way down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right,
When
right.
they're playing up in,
Well, they
again,
wanna-
nothing against Escanaba, but they're playing in Escanaba instead of Las Vegas.
or at a couple other places I could mention. It's
Fair,
like,
county
okay,
fairs.
right? It's like okay,
Yeah.
I'm here, and
Yeah. Don't, and you got to remember, those are
I
your
bought my-
most loyal fans.
Right.
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 At
They've
those
paid
kind
money
of-
to come see you.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got my tickets this morning, and it wasn't like it was sold
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I think, but and some people are very appreciative. But yeah, I don't know, these actors, entertainers. It's really nice when they're super nice people.
Exactly.
And so Madonna, yes or no, she was nice, or what is she?
Oh,
I don't
she
know
was
anything
great.
about her.
I mean,
Okay.
she was great.
Cool.
All
right. My only, I told you.
She wasn't real big yet then, right?
No. This was after she was real big. This
It
was her.
was?
This was her resurgence in
Okay.
2000.
Wow. Okay.
That's
Kudos.
pretty cool. Yeah. I'm sure you got photos to back
She
that
was
up.
a cougar to you.
Wow. This was the big song that came out that we were trying to play on the radio.
Oh, I don't remember this.
Yeah, I
exactly.
Okay. Who was yours? Big time to you?
Well, a lot of them, but
give us one.
You had one at the whatchamacallit out here.
Carlton,
The
right?
Carlton.
A lot of them. I mean, I don't remember which one.
But there was one that surprised me.
Jerry Lewis?
No, I've heard that about him numerous times. Yeah.
yes, I love it. I have to think.
It was somebody's like, really? I wouldn't expect her. It was a woman. I wouldn't expect her to be that way. I don't.
Dionne Warwick?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, she was not in a good mood. And,
All right. All right, we got to take a quick break.
She never moved
Before
off.
I put on my makeup.
She never moved off the stool. I mean, you didn't want to work a crowd, go stage side to side, entertain them. She sat on the stool the whole night, just locked in her spotlights, sat there.
Warren Gertz tells a story about when Marty Robbins was in town. That's all he did was complain about the sheriff's department in Green Bay because of the whole time interact. And people are like, shut up and sing.
Oh yeah.
Terry Barr, Slice of Wisconsin, coming up.
I run for the bus, dear, and while riding I think of us, dear. I say a little prayer for you. At work I just take time and all through my coffee.
This is the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW. You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. A soldier from Wisconsin who crossed the border from South to North Korea is expected to reach a plea deal in his Army court-martial. Private Travis King of Racine will reportedly plead guilty to 5 of 14 charges. King crossed into North Korea last year after he was released from a jail in South Korea. Enrollment is down in Wisconsin's public schools, but education leaders point out that costs per student actually go up when that happens. Luther Olson is the statewide network liaison for the CISA Education Agency.
We fund on a per capita basis, but in reality, that cost goes up. So everybody says, well, you have less kids, you don't need as much money. But unfortunately, that's not quite the case.
Olson speaking with Wisconsin Eye. Work on the next state budget begins next spring. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home. This is news from WISS and WGBW. The new COVID-19 vaccines will be available at some pharmacies in northeast Wisconsin as early as this week. The Food and Drug Administration approved new vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna last week. COVID vaccines are updated each year to tackle predominant strains, just like flu shots. Wastewater testing shows COVID concentrations are very high in northeast Wisconsin communities like De Pere, Manitowoc, Oshkosh, Peshtigo, and Sheboygan. Green Bay's former public school superintendent has a new job. Claude Tiller is now superintendent of a charter school in Atlanta called the Rise Schools. Tiller resigned his job in Green Bay in February after some controversial comments he made to an Atlanta radio talk show host. He was Green Bay's first black school superintendent. Vicki Bayer is serving as interim superintendent while the school board looks for Tiller's replacement. And that's what you need to know. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Kate Winslet fans will have a new series to stream thanks to A24 Studios. The show is called The Spot and follows a successful surgeon played by Winslow and her school teacher husband, who play a couple that may have been responsible for a hit-and-run death of a child. The relationship becomes tested as the truth unfolds, and they weigh into darkness surrounding the crime. Winslet was last seen in HBO's The Regime, and prior to that won an Emmy playing a single mom and detective in Mayor from Easttown. The Spot will air on Hulu. Can't get enough Yellowstone? Or are you like me and have had too much? Apparently, there is a season 6 in the works, and that is a surprise for fans of the show and the pocketbooks of the actors. According to Variety, top billing in the new season would go to Kelly Riley, who will return as Beth Dutton, and Cole Hauser, who would return as Rip Wheeler. Kevin Costner is no longer with the show as he took his version of Yellowstone to the big screen in the form of Horizon, an American Saga Parts 1 and 2. Suddenly, Yellowstone doesn't look so bad. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 7 to 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
Mostly cloudy this morning with a little more sunshine by later this afternoon. Our high today 74. The wind out of the northeast at 5 to 15. Tonight 61. Tomorrow partly cloudy 79 with rain and thunderstorms tomorrow night. Could be some heavy rain too with a half inch or more possible. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it is 66.
Do you owe back taxes? Call Tax Solutions now and get some help. For a limited time, the IRS offers a tax forgiveness program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Our team can make it easier for you to pay back taxes, avoid tax liens, and get a fresh start.
I call Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Call Tax Solutions now. 800-281-8193. 800-281-8193. 800-281-8193.
Register today for the 15th annual RX Link Golf Classic in support of Naranon at Thornberry Creek at Oneida. It's Friday, August 30th and starts with registration and breakfast at 9 a.m., followed by a shotgun start at 10. Happy hour starts at 4 p.m., followed by the awards dinner and silent auction. Proceeds support Naranon, a 12-step program for families and friends of addicts. Advanced registration is suggested and simple. Just call Thornberry Creek at Oneida, 920-434-7501, or search for RX Link Golf online. See you August 30th.
Maggie Dawn.
Did you know that dark money groups are spending millions to hire paid canvassers in Wisconsin on behalf of Donald Trump? I'll tell you all about it next.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Miss part of the show or want to share it with a friend? Check out the Maino and the Mayor podcast at civicmedia.us and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Take Maino and the Mayor with you everywhere. Now, once again, Maino and the Mayor, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, thank you very much. Welcome back. Maino and the Mayor here on a kind of overcast,
No,
but nice.
That's not going to happen here.
Boy, a lot of power outages around the area yesterday in different areas. That
That
really
was unbelievable
came through.
at like 11 o'clock, 10 after 11. In the morning, that was
Got
quite the
so
storm.
dark. It was incredible.
That was cool.
Incredible. Is Terry Barr? Oh, we've got
All
Terry
right,
Barr.
the slice of Wisconsin.
Hello, Terry Barr.
Hello, boys.
How are you?
How are you? And hello, everyone in Northeast Wisconsin.
I was thinking of you the other day. I had I sometimes I put my thing. I know how to do this on Google songs from eras, and I did mid 60s songs.
Mm-hmm.
And
60s.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the oldies. And I thought of you because there was a big time singer named I can't think of her name. It wasn't Barr. It was she did this song. Will it please be him? Dear God, it must be him. But it not.
No.
Vicky Carr.
Vicky Carr.
Oh, Vicky Carr.
Vicky Carr.
It must be him.
It must be him.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
From
right.
Ed Sullivan Show.
So Vicky Carr turned into Terry Barr?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, that's
interesting.
okay.
Yes.
Every time I hear Vicky Carr, I think of Terry Barr.
Exactly.
That's
what I did.
totally. That's the rest of it.
That's a nice stretch.
That's
I'll
north.
take
That's
it, though.
northeast Wisconsin.
But then they had a thing with Johnny Cash, and he was introducing her and said, "Are you for Vicky Carr?" And I was going to do that for you. Are you for Terry Barr?
Oh,
Okay,
yes,
we already had.
You can sing that to me every Wednesday if you'd like.
No,
Sure.
we already had the birthday song.
Every
We're done with
Wednesday.
Maino. So
What is going on in the state of Wisconsin, Terry Barr?
Well, I have something special for you today. You've probably heard we started this new program for Northeast Wisconsin called New Wisco Weekend.
Yes.
And it's on every Saturday and Sunday morning, and we are having so much fun with this. And you may or may not know you're part of the show just because you're Northeast Wisconsin. So that's pretty cool. But we asked an editor from Up North News to quickly give us the top 3 in-state spots to go right now. Just a quick travel if you want to hop in the car and go have some fun. Where should you go? Well, number 3, the
let us
Dells.
guess. Oh, it's,
Okay.
You want to guess, John?
Number 3.
What you say?
What's number 3?
Well, I'm going to say, number 3.
She just said it.
I already gave you the answer. The Dells. Sorry.
Oh, the Dells. Oh,
Which is
okay,
cool.
okay.
I would pick that as definitely the top 5. I mean, the Dells is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So what do you think? I'm skipping number 2 for a minute, but what
'Cause
would
it's
you
Lambeau?
guess would be number 1?
It's got to be Lambeau. Isn't it? Green Bay?
No.
Okay, just wait, let me guess.
I like she went off the board for this one. Way off the board.
I know what it is. It's House on a Rock.
No.
No
Here,
one's.
I'll tell
We
you.
already had this discussion. No one's been to House on the Rock.
I have many times.
Everybody has. We did a survey.
Oh,
I
we did
won.
a survey.
I won. That was last year.
Todd, you ever go to the House on the Rock?
Yes,
sir.
Everybody's been there. Just wait. I got to think about Wisconsin. So it's got to be in Milwaukee.
No.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. It's Warren's for Cranberry Festival, or to just go there and get anything you can that's made from cranberries.
Where?
Warren's.
I don't believe that.
Warren, Wisconsin? Is that the name of a town?
Yes.
I've never heard of it.
Oh my gosh. This is a little city in cranberry country, 3,000 people, but during Cranberry Festival, 150,000 people.
Wow.
Where is what? Tell us about Cranberry. Where is this
Where's
town? I don't know.
Warren?
Yeah.
But now I have to get back to number 2 for you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Warren's, is all around Stevens Point and probably a little more northwest.
Okay.
Yeah, because Stevens Point, Wausau, all of that area is considered cranberry country.
Well, that's
Okay,
Brittany Merlot. That's her territory.
Right. How about number 2?
There you go. Okay.
How about
so what do you
number?
think
Let me
would
guess.
be number 2
The
between
Shrine.
the Dells and
What shrine?
Warren's?
The Shrine.
What shrine?
The Shrine in Champion.
Oh, the chapel.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Where is it between what?
It's Green Bay. It is.
Oh, it
number
is
2
Green
is
Bay.
Green Bay.
Okay.
Yep. But get this, she said not for the Packers or Lambeau Field.
Bay Beach.
Mr. Mayor, you're going to love this.
I am.
Bay Beach.
Yeah, I know. That's cool. Love it.
Statewide?
Love it. Bay
Number
Beach.
2, Green Bay. She said, and try to go not for the Packers or Lambeau. There's so many other things to do, and she loves Bay Beach.
Wow.
Here, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's
for the
so
whole state. Yep.
great.
So now,
family,
I don't know,
affordable.
Todd,
Yep.
should we cue the song that goes along with Bay Beach?
Yeah. Do you want to give any preface to this, or should I just play it and then you can
There's
talk
a song
about
that
it
goes along with
afterward?
Bay Beach.
Yeah, okay, so there is a Wisconsin-based musician, but he tours internationally. He wrote an entire album about Bay Beach.
Did you know that, Jim?
I don't know. I don't think I did. No,
Okay,
When did it come out?
just a couple of years ago, within the last 5 years.
Okay.
All right. I say
Wow.
we play this.
We
What do you
have
think?
to. Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to hear it.
I love this so much. I hope you will too.
Okay.
Check this out.
Ode to Bay Beach.
Red Devils and the fighting Trojans meet at the Bay Beach to feel the motion of the zip on paper. Yeah, the zip on paper. It'll zip you to the left, zip you to the right, zip on paper. Clickety clack up the hill you climb, then it drop you like a meteor out of the sky. Zip on paper. Zip on paper. It'll zip you to the left, zip you to the right, zip on paper.
That's cool.
You gotta feel pretty
90 seconds
great
is
about
all
that.
it takes. The girls all scream when they feel the shake of the zip on paper. The zip on paper. It'll zip you to the left, zip you to the right. Zip on paper, wanna ride with you on Saturday nights.
It's actually good music.
That is good.
It is
music.
good.
Wow.
It was built in Memphis, moved up to Green Bay. $1 all that you gotta pay to ride the zip on paper. The zip on paper. It'll zip you to the left, zip you to the right, zip on paper. Even Elvis Presley wanted to ride. He rode it all night a week before he died. The zip on paper.
Wow. That guy studied it.
Oh yeah, zip on paper. It'll zip you to the left, zip you to the right. Zip on paper, wanna ride with you on Saturday nights. Zip on
I can't believe I haven't heard that. That is great.
I can't
And
believe how detailed he got.
Right, he did his research, right?
He's got to do
Memphis.
one more verse, though, about the mayor that brought the Zip and Pippin to Green Bay. That would make Jim happy.
Yeah.
Can we get him on the
Ask
show?
him.
We got to get him on the show.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
That's
Trapper
amazing.
Shep. He is based in Milwaukee, but proud to say he is internationally touring and he is doing terrific. But he has a soft spot for Bay Beach and, yes, did an entire album about all the rides at Bay Beach. But his favorite is also Zip and Pippin.
That was amazing.
Wow. That was really, really good.
I mean, I'm not kidding.
And that's good music, too. It wasn't like corny. It was like, that was,
No.
I would listen to that. And yeah, that was great. Wow, I'd love to get him on the show. I'd like to meet him. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So he
thank him, I should say. Yeah,
he just
thank
came
him.
here like that was a great song to do the twist to.
Yeah.
So he just comes here as a tourist. You know what I mean? What's his? Okay.
He actually, and I was disappointed I didn't know this soon enough, but he did a show at Bay Beach about a month ago.
Oh.
Yeah, he travels everywhere. He is one of those musicians where he'll play anywhere, anytime. He can play solo. He has a duo, and then he's got the full band. So one of those, but I think a long time ago, he heard the story of the Zip and Pippin. And, you know, as any good musician will do, they'll go figure out the story, then go check out the actual thing. And he was so enamored with it. He said, I had to write a song not just about it and the history and bringing it to Green Bay. But then also he said, oh, my gosh, this is the cutest place ever. So thus became an album.
What was the thing about Elvis before he died?
He rode that. There's a sign out there. Yeah, he rode that thing before he died. Oh, yeah. He used to rent that thing out. It was Liberty Land was like their Bay Beach down in Memphis. And he would just, it's not that far really from Graceland. And he would just take his friends out there and they'd operate it all night and just keep riding it. I think right the night before or something, very close to his death, he had ridden it.
That's amazing.
Well, and then Trapper had an interesting thing that he learned from Memphis. Elvis rode it for several hours that one particular night. Just did not get off of the ride, kept going around and around and around. And finally, I guess somebody said, okay, we need to shut it down. So there's the top part where you're going to go down the hill, the real high part.
Mm-hmm.
Elvis jumped off. And so when the ride came down for its stop, he was not on it.
Where was he?
He was standing up on top.
Yeah. Okay, he jumped out, not off. That's
I was going to say, yeah. Wow.
Okay, he jumped out.
Isn't that kind of creepy?
That
Like,
is.
wow.
That's
It's
pretty
like-
cool, though. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yep.
I think he.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did we not know about this? Todd?
Well, that's why Terry Barr's here this morning.
Yes.
Because
Wow, that's a real slice of Wisconsin.
That
is
was fantastic,
so cool.
Terry.
I mean, it really is. Wow. Yeah, I would.
We dug deep for that one, but I'm so glad we did.
Absolutely.
Oh, so precious.
So
Yeah.
okay, so this survey was the number 2 was Bay Beach, 3 was the Dells, and then number 1 was
number 1 was Cranberries.
No, I'm saying
okay,
Warren.
yeah.
Was Warren, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Do they have a festival coming up? I'd like to see that. If that's number 1
Yeah,
attraction
they do
in Wisconsin.
in September. They have the huge Cranberry Festival is in September. You can go to the bogs. They'll be working in the bogs. And there you go. There would be a visit for you to do.
The John would go to the bongs. The bogs? What is that? What is that? What is that?
I would. Yeah, really.
no.
Between the two of us, Panama Red.
September 27th is the event, Warren's Cranberry Festival.
You know, they say
There
there's
you
like
go.
nothing better for you than cranberry juice.
Yeah,
It's true.
It is. It's yeah.
And even if it's not, that's what we
Cranberry,
say. So
pomegranate, all of those
Yes.
are like
Right.
super fruits.
Yes,
They
the
are.
red fruits.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Terry, that was so
the
good.
festival, when they take the cranberries, they make everything they can think of out of cranberries.
Right.
So they've got, the typical, the bread.
Mm-hmm.
But then she said they put it in brats, and they do every year. They try to figure out, kind of like the state fair. What can we do different this year? So you just never know what you're going to find.
That sounds like fun.
Although, are you a big cranberry guy?
Yeah, I would.
I know, but
I like
like when
cranberry
you
juice.
just take them out of the can and you for like Thanksgiving and cut them up.
Oh, I love those.
Did you?
Yeah, because, we ate all that crap at home.
Okay, we did too. We did too. But it wasn't one of those things you'd clamor for. But
No, it's
when
old-
you'd go to someplace else, they'd have it where it's like mixed in with like oranges and stuff.
Like
Yeah,
an actual
that-
cranberry relish.
Yeah.
With
Grandmother used to
that
make
was
that.
good.
Yeah.
That's good when they mix it with the
Yes.
oranges. Yeah, that
That's
what was that
phenomenal.
called?
Cranberry relish.
Cranberry relish.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, because cranberries were
Tom,
always.
listen to you.
But you got to
knows
admit,
everything.
I love it.
but you got to admit, cranberries when we were kids were always eaten by the old people.
Absolutely. That's what I mean.
Not a
it's
kid's
like
food.
you take them because it was there.
Grandma put them on the table.
Exactly.
Take one, Jimmy. I
You
don't
just
want
take
Mom.
one slice, and that was it. Yeah. It's kind of like
Didn't they
good
plop
beets.
it on your plate and say eat it anyway?
Yeah, we did that. But
Okay,
anyway,
yeah, same here.
That sounds like a lot of fun because we talked about, we had the people on here, I think from Seymour. They had the big hamburger festival.
Yeah.
It's cool when a community
Yes.
that's small like that, it has some, statewide and even larger than that exposure. That's
You know what's
very
kind of
cool.
sad? I just read an article about Two Rivers. This is their last Kite Fest.
Yes.
Kites over.
Why?
Yeah. Well, they had to move it to Two Rivers High School because the beach has gotten so small at Neshoto.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to say 19 years or something.
Yeah.
That was a really
Boy, that was
popular
fun.
thing.
Yeah. They've got a lot going on, though. Two Rivers has more than one thing, but this Warren sounds like cranberries is their thing. And they got that sauerkraut festival, right? Isn't that right up the road here? And I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, it does. It is. That's a big deal. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's
All
Black
right.
Creek, yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Terry
that's cool.
Bard, that was outstanding. Great stuff.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you for making our
Yeah,
show.
thanks for that. Yeah,
that
that's
was
great.
phenomenal. And get him on our
Yeah,
air
if you get that contact, I'd love to thank him for that.
I
That
will
is
talk
awesome.
with him. He's in Europe for the next couple of months. But
Ask
I'll
him-
talk to him soon.
Ask him if he'll do a song about me.
We'll stick
Thanks,
with the
Terry
zip and
Bard. Back after this.
Into the talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Devil's Advocates radio show.
During life's most trying times, it helps to have someone with experience and understanding at your side. Ryan Funeral Home and Crematory has a tent of staff in De Pere, available 24 hours a day, and nearly 100 years of business experience, which can provide comfort during those difficult times. Call them at 920-336-3171 or visit them at ryanfh.com. Ryan Funeral Home and Crematory, local people serving local families since 1926.
As a federally licensed broadcast company, this civic media station is required by FCC regulations to accept advertising by all qualified candidates for federal office. We also accept ads from state and local candidates. We do screen announcements from issue groups and PACs and exercise discretion in airing announcements with blatantly false claims or outrageous, unfounded statements. These announcements do not necessarily reflect the views of civic media, its hosts, or advertisers, and the source of all issue announcements can be found online at our FCC public file.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW. Home.
Even Elvis Presley wanted to ride. He wrote it all night a week before he died.
Hey, welcome back. Mine on the Mayor. Oh, we got to do our contest. Todd, what's our prize package? How many quarters I found in my car that I salvaged yesterday?
How about we let's do a 50-50. Give half to the winner and half goes to our quarters for guests. Or you want to give it all to them? Or you want to give them something else? I don't care. Let's.
We've got T-shirts, right? I've got some tickets for Let Me Be Frank Productions for their next show.
Oh,
so
that
we've
would
got
be
that.
phenomenal.
Here are tickets for that.
What is this next one?
I think it's got a Christmas one coming up soon.
Soon?
Believe it or not. I mean, think about it. We're already in fall, so
Yeah.
they're thinking
Yeah.
ahead to that.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so you're going to guess how many quarters
I found in my car.
The dollar amount, okay?
Oh, the dollar
I
amount.
thought it was going to be the exact number of
But then
quarters.
we'll divide by 4, John. How's that?
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. So
Okay.
in dollars,
yes.
How much did we find without going over, just like the Price is Right?
Yeah. In Maino's car.
In Maino's car.
And how many of them actually had to be pried out of a thing, out of the
Sticking
ashtray
together,
with a
right.
screwdriver because they were stuck together from the sodas that I've spilt in there.
So you can text on the Civic Media app, download it, choose WGBW or WISS, lower right-hand corner, your guess for the dollar amount of quarters that we found in Maino's car.
And then also, like I said, I got it salvaged yesterday down in Newton, and they had a big job application thing for a heavy equipment operator for the crane.
Magnets and
Yeah,
the cranes.
and I would like to know where I can go to school to get a degree in that because I would like that job very much.
Yeah, I don't know that it requires a lot of schooling, quite honestly, right? You're picking up a car and you're dropping it in a
they were in
condenser.
the yeah. I would love to watch that though.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Awesome.
I would love that.
And then, and I bet the guys who clean out the cars,
Well, it has to be cleaned out when you bring it in. I mean, yeah.
So they don't. I thought maybe the guys would find cool stuff.
Wonder why that is.
I don't know, but they have it right on the form. Was a car cleaned out? I mean, not to vacuum or anything, but no other stuff.
Well, that would be the first.
Yeah. Oh my God! It was so. When I stepped out of the car, it's like,
goodbye.
See ya. Sometimes you sell a car. And it's,
you get sentimental.
Great
right.
memories.
Yeah.
I have no good memories in that car. None.
It's
not
easy,
a single one.
Easier to get rid of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, so we were talking. The Zip and Pippin. That guy. Those seats are very narrow. Because the country's gotten much larger since that ride was out there, and
Elvis was sitting in there. It couldn't have been.
Yeah, I was going to say he must have
he had his own car.
They had to modify that because that is pretty tight. And but we're talking about John's getting back on his diet today.
And I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the Croc Center. Not today, but I'm going to start working out at the Croc Center. What?
Okay, that would be great. You know what?
And I'm going to learn how to do the thing where you're running through the streets of Italy.
And it's free.
Yeah.
It's for you, because for people who are on Medicare, they give you a number. It's called Silver Sneakers number, and you can only do it at one health club, but you can take it. You can take it to the Y. You can take it to.
That makes me sound so old. It's unbelievable.
I know. See, I'm one of those, and you can take it anywhere. And they put your number in there. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I think you have to use it.
I'm going to use it.
No, I hope the government.
How old would you be? How old would you think you were if you didn't know how old you were?
31.
Come on.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
31?
Absolutely.
Right.
I think.
Really?
Absolutely.
I
When I was
wonderful.
31,
I think it's great.
That's great.
When I was 31, you guys, I felt bulletproof.
You were the crap, as they would say.
Say something like that.
Yeah.
I would think I was 45.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's me too. Yep.
But I think I'm still more of a risk taker. At 45, I think I chilled a little bit. I don't know if I think I did or not. But though 31 I was recently married, had a kid, started my own business, and I liked that time in my life. I had no money, but it was like just a cool time in my life.
All right.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
All right.
So
we got a winner this morning.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know there was an answer.
I don't even know the answer.
Neither do I.
I've got the answer right here in front of me.
All
and
right.
Some of the guesses that came in this morning include $5. Dave guessed that one. William guessed $7. And Nancy guessed $6.75. All relatively close.
Okay. Yeah.
The amount of money that John Maino found in his car, all quarters, by the way, before turning it into the salvage company, total was $9 exactly.
Wow.
$9.
$9.
Wow.
All right. Well, that's good.
Wow.
Changes in a plastic bag in Amanda's office now, so get extra parking money.
Wow, and they win Frank tickets?
We're going to send them T-shirts and Frank tickets and all that good stuff.
Nice.
So congratulations, Sharon of Green Bay.
Congratulations, Sharon.
36 quarters all over the place, too,
All
right?
over,
It was
every
just,
place.
It wasn't like it was in one little container.
No, under floor mats, in the ashtray, in the little thing that you always open up and put stuff in. I found so much. I found like 4 or 5 flashlights, found a knife, found 2 locks. I don't know why I had 2 locks in there.
Jeez.
I'm serious. I mean, it's amazing the stuff I found in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing that I wouldn't have guessed you had that much, because sometimes you go through your car to look for quarters for like to get a cheeseburger or something like that. It's like there's got to be enough money in this car. So,
Do you remember when you were searching your car under the seat, Jim, to find the checkbook that time?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't have any cash.
I know there's a checkbook in his car somewhere. So if it was under like the floor.
Still not as bad as the time on that really hot day we went to that benefit, and between the two of us could not afford 1 beer. And it was at a brewery, and everybody else was drinking craft beer, and we're drinking water.
We walked up there, the guy goes, "How much is the beer?" $4. We look at each other like, no, we don't have it. Between us, we had like $2.25.
Yeah.
So,
honest to God, no lie. And we literally went over to the water container. Everybody else got these beautiful glasses of
and we
craft
took that
beer.
little cup you pee in and put water in there, and that's what we had. But,
and
those
that's
guys
not
are
a
doing
lie.
all right.
You know you've made it in life when that's your life
That's
story
right.
there.
That was a good one, but so much better now.
That was 4 months ago. Great show today, Todd. Great guests.
Yeah,
Good
that was
stuff.
fun.
What have we got coming up tomorrow? Do you know?
Yeah. Let's see. Coming up tomorrow, we've got Mandy Wilkie, the area manager for Stroll Ledgeview, stopping by.
Yeah, she's great.
And Ted Stefaniak's going to join us from
Cool.
TV32 Sports Showdown to talk about the matchup.
That's right. We got a great game tomorrow night. Bayport against Kimberly on a Thursday night, which is different but fun.
Why is it?
I don't know.
Oh, it's Thursday because Friday's the Packers.
No. Is it coach? Is it
no,
like
that'd
the
be next
refs
week.
and stuff like that just needing enough refs?
I don't know. I really and truly don't know. This is the only time I think we've ever had one on a Thursday. I really
You're right.
don't know the reason.
But next week it's on a Thursday too, right? Because of the Packer game?
There's going to be one where we don't have a
Next,
game.
next week is no game.
Right.
Oh, there's
Right.
no
Yeah.
game.
Yes.
Wow.
Because of the Packer game.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to go on to Thursday, I guess, for that one. So, yeah. So we're just going to go with that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, that'd be fine.
I'm looking forward to that game, though. The Packer game.
Oh, yeah, on Friday night.
It's been a long time since I've been really, really excited about a Packer opener.
Because of Philly or because
being
of
in Brazil. Just curious to see how the fans react and everything like
Did
that.
he say they had...
Has there ever been one in South America before?
I'm not sure.
Did Aaron say... We talked about that yesterday, I think, on our show, that, I don't know, is there 30 million fans
Oh,
down
yeah,
there?
I said there's like 30 million football fans.
Wow.
Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
We just want $1 from each of you. So, wow. Yeah,
But you know what? Everything's not financial with us.
Not at all.
No, that's not financial. It's
We're
not
playing
financial.
just exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back in tomorrow morning. My name is Mayor. See ya.
Zip it to the left, zip it to the right, zip 'em,
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW.